Understand what matters most to each homeowner we serve. Every home has a story, and every seller has different needs. Whether you want a quick closing or need extra time to find your next place, we customize our approach around what works best for you. That's how we've earned hundreds of 5-star Google reviews and an A+ rating with the BBB, by putting relationships first. No repairs needed, no cleanout required, and you pick the closing date that works best for your schedule. At JeffBuysYourHouse.com, we're here to help you through the entire transition, not just the transaction. Are you ready to work with a local team that takes the time to understand your home selling needs? Sell your house to the trusted source by calling us today at 630-895-9530. That's 630-895-9530 or JeffBuysYourHouse.com.
Portions of the following show may be pre-recorded.
AM 560, The Answer. Prepare to have your mind opened. The lies of the mainstream media are about to be exposed, and the hypocrisy of the left is about to be revealed. This is a revolution in how you think about politics, race, and culture. You've tuned into Black and Right with John Anthony.
I'm coming in hot. Yeah, coming in hot. Just like the fajita. I write what I live. My life in the speaker. I'm nice with the flow.
Welcome to this week's edition of Black and Right Radio on AM 560 Chicago, 92.7 FM and AM 1400 Detroit, Michigan. Got my good friend, my buddy, my pal, Dennis Rebelletti, the prosecutor, back in studio. What's up, brother?
Not much, John. I had a lot of fun a couple weeks ago, and hopefully we can get all 12 phone lines lit up again.
You know, I was kind of shocked. Can I be honest? I didn't think you were coming because I know when you called me the other day, you were like, yeah, I'm coming. I'm like, yeah, okay, we'll see. I didn't think you'd be here. So I really do appreciate you coming in here. But there's a lot of stuff that I want to get to. We at the 4:35 hour, I have to interview Rich Miller from Stack Cybersecurity. But so I don't want to really go into it, but I want to start laying down the groundwork, Dennis. And I'm so glad that you are here because you're an attorney, right? You play one on Tuesdays and Wednesdays?
That just depends on where I'm at that day. Oh, you want free legal representation, John? Is that like it? You know, pro bono? Is that why I'm here?
I get that all the time. So
That's right.
I get that all the time whenever I call and say, hey, man, I need some help. Dennis Rebelletti is my guy. That's the one. Or if you don't do it, you'll always direct me to the individual that does do it. So I always enjoy that.
That's what we try to do. So
Yeah. But Dennis, what was before the Supreme Court this last week, and I think they're going to probably rule on it come June, was birthright citizenship. I was looking for, I wrote something, but Facebook won't let me pull it up quite yet. But one of the things, and Paul, have we done are you at the Supreme Court Justice's audio yet? No? We'll wait. We can wait. I can play Jonathan Turley's. I want to really talk about this, Dennis, because I spent about a full day just doing the research on this, on birthright citizenship, you know, the Wong case. And I don't think many Americans truly understand why this is being challenged at this time. And I want to play something Jonathan Turley said about it. Here he goes.
One who believes that the framers would have embraced what we have today. We have become the world ship of fools. I mean, you have China that is virtually mocking us. They have hundreds of these companies that solely arrange for Chinese citizens to give birth in the United States. It's done in the open, and it's making us into a laughingstock. But it also has robbed us of control over what it means to be a citizen in this country. The day is not over for the government. It's still possible that they could win, but this was not a promising oral argument in that sense. So we have to look at where we go from here. And many of us believe we need to deal with this problem, and that may require a constitutional amendment.
Okay, Dennis, back in 1857, the Dred Scott decision, you know, that was made that basically declared that Black Americans could not be citizens, and we needed to do something about it. So the 14th Amendment, was that 1868 when it was ratified?
We also have to go back and think about as far as representation, that black people were considered three-fifths of a person.
Chattel, basically. Verlon used to make that point all the time.
So, I mean, we have to, but remember, let's take all of the listeners back to that part of our history.
Yeah.
We're coming out of we're coming out of the Civil War. We're going into Reconstruction, and we're trying to figure out exactly where the nation is going to go.
Right.
So we're 200 plus years ago, right? So this is where we're at, and now we are the folks there. We're trying to figure out how do we make sure that the slaves are now become citizens. They have full rights, and any children here are also considered to be citizens.
Yeah.
Because obviously the slaves didn't come of their own volition.
Correct.
So they had no citizenship rights, even though they were here for a long time. And then what could happen to their children or their grandchildren? Could they be sent back to Africa or whatever their country was? So we have to put that into context, because I want to talk about context as you go more into the Supreme Court questions.
Yeah, and so let's go before the 14th Amendment was ratified. Did you know that there was a senator from this great state of Michigan, Senator Jacob Howard? He was the one that introduced the citizenship clause in 1866. Now, since you're an attorney that plays one on Tuesdays and Wednesdays,
that's right.
This is how he explained it: that the phrase "subject to the jurisdiction thereof" was a limiting principle, not a formality. He stated that this will not, of course, include persons born in the United States who are foreigners, aliens, who belong to the families of ambassadors or foreign ministers. How do we go from once the 14th Amendment was ratified that dealt directly with slavery to now present day, and we'll get to the Wong case, but you had the Wong case also. I believe they were here legally and all that type of stuff. But how do we go from redefining what the jurisdiction thereof meant?
Well, it's for what the politicians and you would assume then the constituents wanted at that time. So where the mindset then, we look at what the text tells us. So we go from originalist to is this a living and breathing Constitution that lives and is allowed to morph as the times change? So this should have been very narrowly tailored and fit a very small group of people. However, as the United States expanded, as the world changed, it was accepted to allow anybody that was born here. But there also weren't people at the time trying to get here just to get citizenship at that particular time.
Yeah.
So you're just trying to establish the nation's been torn apart by war. We want to heal the country. We want to make everybody on equal footing and equal citizenship. And now you go all the way to Joe Biden and open borders.
Well, I want to take it back. I believe this was 1993. Is it? Yeah, there it is. This is 1993. Listen to the gentleman who had this to say and introduced a bill to do the exact same thing that President Trump is doing today. I guarantee you recognize this gentleman's voice.
Making it easy to be an illegal alien isn't enough. How about offering a reward for being an illegal immigrant? No sane country would do that, right? Guess again. If you break our laws by entering this country without permission and give birth to a child, we reward that child with U.S. citizenship and guarantee of full access to all public and social services this society provides. And that's a lot of services. Is it any wonder that 2/3 of the babies born at taxpayer expense at county-run hospitals in Los Angeles are born to illegal alien mothers? Just when the American people think nothing can be more absurd than the way we deal, or rather don't deal, with illegal immigration, they discover that we have a political asylum system that would qualify us for Senator Proxmire's Golden Fleece Award 1,000 times over.
Now, that was, I'm sure you recognize that voice, right, Dennis?
Right. He has, Mr. Harry Reid has
Yeah.
an airport named after him in Las Vegas and was the Senate leader / what we would call president in Illinois for quite a long time.
Off. I was getting ready to take something to Paul. I didn't know you were going to cut it off.
Well, you
that
shut
quick.
me off, John.
No, I cut mine off, not yours. But Dennis, do you see the hypocrisy here? That the Democrat Party used to be a party. I mean, at least Harry Reid, who later became the Senate Majority Leader, he had the same idea, the same thought, because he was able to see what was happening in our country. Now, this was right off the heels of Ronald Reagan with his amnesty that happened 10 years prior or something to that nature.
Right. It is in the 80s, so probably around 84, give or take, 86.
So what happened, Dennis? What happened from the time Harry Reid introduced that bill? And then I don't know if you know that he said that was one of the worst ideas he ever had in his time in the Senate.
Well, Chuck Schumer said the same stuff.
Yeah.
Joe Biden said the same stuff. Hillary Clinton did. President Clinton did. I'm just wondering, and I'm going to ask the listeners when they call in, put your finger on the pulse of the time in which our nation started to be a nation of open borders. Now, I've heard the argument about open borders, that Republicans wanted it for cheap labor, and the Democrats wanted it for cheap labor.
Right.
And then so we're always going back and forth as to who's gaining.
Yeah.
But I'm interested to hear what people think. What was the turning point for everything to change?
Give us a call, 312-642-5600. 312-642-5600. What do you think about birthright citizenship? We'll be right back.
Mike Gallagher sees a lack of respect.
As we've got ICE at our nation's airports, Congress still deadlocked. They went home Friday. They went on vacation, which is one of the most remarkable acts of thumbing their nose at the American people I've ever seen. The truth is, the Democrats don't want success in funding DHS.
The Mike Gallagher Show, weekdays at 9 on AM 560. The Answer.
A great smile can make you feel happy and confident. So when you consciously conserve your teeth, that glowing smile will show through. At Best Dental Group, doctors Economos, Gavalis, and their staff are ready to help you create that perfect look or maintain the one you have now. Along with general dentistry, Best Dental Group is a multidiscipline practice with an orthodontist, periodontist, and prosthetic specialists on site. They use the newest breakthroughs in dental technology such as titanium implants, Invisalign clear braces, and laser treatments. Don't let fear get in the way. They can recommend sedation to make your experience as comfortable as possible. Best Dental Group is located in historic downtown Bartlett and is a multilingual office. Call 630-830-4930, 630-830-4930, or visit bestdental.org. Best Dental Group, sharing your conservative values and helping you to conserve your teeth.
This is Sean Thompson. One of the things I remember about spring is listening to my grandfather walk around and say, opening day, it's just around the corner. He used to think those were the two sweetest words you could say during springtime because he was a big baseball fan. And for most people, that's the case. It's one of the greatest American traditions each spring. But you know, there's another great American tradition that isn't far off, and that's called Tax Day. Well, opening day and tax day show up around the same time each year. We don't look at them in the same way. Well, you're optimistic about your favorite team. When's the last time you felt optimistic about stroking a big check to Uncle Sam? It doesn't have to be that way, and all you have to do is call Tom Fortino, the people at Alpha Wealth Group, who believe that baseball is a seasonal game, but tax planning goes on year-round. So if you don't want to write a big check in your retirement, and you don't want to have your Social Security or Medicare premiums affected by it, call Tom Fortino and the people at Alpha Wealth Group for their complimentary retirement roadmap. Call them at 630-864-6711. That number again is 630-864-6711 or online at alphawealthgroup.com.
I'm attorney Stephen Leahy. If you're a business owner with unfiled tax returns, tax season is not your friend. This is when the IRS turns up the heat. They match 1099s. They review payroll filings. They compare bank deposits. And when returns are missing, they don't send you a warning. They take action. Penalties stack up fast. Liens become public. Bank levies can drain your account. I see it every year. Good business owners who waited too long. Not because they're crooks, but because they were overwhelmed. Let me be clear. Hiding makes it worse. Action makes it fixable. I help business owners get compliant, file what's missing, and negotiate from a position of strength. not fear. Don't wait for the next certified letter. Don't wait for a levy. Go to fightbacknow.com and sign up for my daily email. I'll tell you exactly what to do next, step by step. Or call me right now at 312-664-6649. Act now before the IRS acts first.
Black and Right continues. Once again, here's John Anthony.
Agents swooping in this morning to raid what they are calling maternity tourism rings. The ring helps pregnant women, most of them in this area from China, illegally travel to the U.S. to give birth to American babies. NBC4's Hetty Chang has more from Orange County.
Just after sunrise, they are ready to roll. Our cameras are there as dozens of federal investigators storm into the Carlisle apartments in Irvine.
If you come here in the evening, you see all the pregnant women walking around.
Investigators say this building and at least 20 other locations they raided in L.A., Orange, and San Bernardino counties double as maternity hotels.
People who come from China to the United States for the sole purpose.
Okay, welcome back to Black and Right. Now, Dennis, that's one thing, right? Now, I don't think many people are looking at the national security perspective of this. I'm looking at, I think America is one of 30 nations that actually allow people that are born here to automatically become citizens. Europe has moved away from it. France, Germany, Italy, Spain, Ireland, Greece, Norway, Sweden, Switzerland, the Netherlands, Poland, Belgium, Austria have all moved away from automatic birthright citizenship. China, Japan, South Korea, India, Thailand, Singapore, Israel, Saudi Arabia, Vietnam, Malaysia, Indonesia, they follow similar models that tie citizenship to parentage or legal status. Why should we? I mean, Dennis, think about this. Think about the national security. Paul, did I send you an audio clip where it talked about this Chinese man having 100 children? You just dropped it. Okay, and then we'll get to the calls, Dennis. Because I'm looking at the national security perspective of this, and here's the reason why.
Being used to manipulate the system. One Chinese billionaire reportedly has more than 100 U.S.-born children through surrogacy. The idea, build a future family and a business succession plan. Some clients, by the way, request up to 100 babies via multiple surrogacies. It can cost as much as $200,000. And why would they do that? Because babies born here are automatically U.S. citizens. Also, surrogacy is illegal in China. Nearly 41% of international...
Why are other countries getting this and not Americans, Dennis?
Well, that's a good question, and that's why I'm looking forward to hear what the listeners have to say. I don't know why America doesn't get it. We are a very gracious nation. We are very helpful. We are very caring, and the rest of the world takes full advantage of that. Yeah. You give an inch, they'll take a mile, and what we did was correct to correct slavery and begin the path of that recovery. And now what happened is we have a large hole that's being exploited by our enemies, not even by friendly immigration. Right. This is by enemies of the state. Yeah. In China, you could, as we talked about offline, North Korea. You look at Iran. You think you can go there? No. They don't let you in. They'll kill you.
Yeah.
So now we have the Chinese who are manipulating the system. That's what they're doing, and they are our major problem moving forward.
And I'm going to hurt some feelings out there, but this is what I've always felt about Barack Obama. I do believe he was born here. I think he was the first coming of it. I think you want to talk about a Manchurian candidate. You want to talk about allowing somebody to be born here in America, but their allegiance. Obama didn't grow up here. I mean, what did he learn while he was over in these other countries? What is this guy, this Chinaman, who's raising 100 kids born in America, probably shipping them back to China? 100. Probably shipping them back to China to raise them, and then to bring them back here to go to college. Dennis, that is a problem for me.
Well, it should be a problem for everybody else.
Yeah, let's go to the phone lines. Rick from Des Plaines. What's up, Rick?
Hey, Mr. John, Mr. Dennis, how are you?
Doing well.
Happy Easter.
Happy Easter.
Same to you.
He is risen.
I'm glad you brought this topic up because it's a hot controversy right now, and I'm a little steamed about it. I've been following it pretty well. So I agree 100% that they're abusing, especially China. It's being abused. Other countries, let's say nations, other nations, people from other nations as well. And the short answer to why America doesn't get it is Democrats. Okay, but here's something that I don't hear anybody ever talk about, except I heard it one time. Back when the Native American Indians were in this country, before it was America, it was just the Americas. It wasn't the United States of America. Okay, they were not given citizenship, even though they were born here, because they were of another nation.
Yeah.
So
that's what we were talking about.
But they did become citizens via an act, and I forget when it was, 18-something, to include them so they could get benefits. But they deserved it. They were born here.
Yeah.
I mean, they were here before we were.
Right.
These other people, especially this Chinese tourism birthright, or what do you call it, birthing tourism?
Yeah.
It's ridiculous. It's a scandal. The Chinese don't allow it. They laugh at us, and they're profiting from it. And that's the only thing I got to say. I just think it's completely wrong, and they need to change it. And if you don't agree with that, then again, the answer is a one-word: Democrats.
Thank you. And Dennis, we talked about that. You brought that up.
We did. I was mentioning to you, John, that Justice Sonia Sotomayor mentioned this. I told you she has a very logical reasoning. Now, I'm not telling you I have to agree with it, but I'm just telling you she has very logical reasoning that when the Indians, she was concerned about when we took over the United States and the Indians went to their nation, that they did become citizens. They asked the Solicitor General Sauer if the executive order was going to be retroactive. And if it was retroactive, does that mean every different election, a president on their own motion could determine who has citizenship and who does not have citizenship? And so obviously the Indians had citizenship. We also gave them their own lands, even though that wasn't the best of properties, but they ended up, they have their own nation status, but we also wanted to give them citizenship. So this is the chicken and the egg as to, it's in the Constitution, but what's the real meaning of it?
Right. Yeah, let's go to Glenn from Orlando. Glenn, welcome to Black and Right.
Hi, guys. Happy Easter weekend. What is American citizenship? Is it just a door prize you can hand out willy-nilly?
Yeah.
I just don't understand this citizenship thing. This came about on the 14th Amendment after the slaves were freed. I think it was focused on children of former slaves. And why is it so complicated? I don't understand that. I saw something over the last couple of days that said if a pregnant woman breaks into your house and she gives birth to the child, does that child now your responsibility for the rest of your life?
No. I saw that too.
So
I've seen it with animals and all type of stuff, Glenn.
I just don't understand it. I think I think the original intent was to help the children of former slaves, and that's the way it should be interpreted. But, if you come here illegally, the U.S. has no real jurisdiction over you except to deport you because you broke the law. Yeah. I mean, are we going to reward that? That's
what we're doing. Thank you, Glenn.
Take care, guys.
All right. Let's go to Cecil from Cecil.
Yeah. Hi, how are you?
Hey, doing well.
So I think this is even more complicated, sir, because not only China doing this trade, several other countries doing it too.
Yes, that's what we said.
There are organizations that are actually earning money by doing this. In addition to that, and the people who are coming here have one citizenship from the U.S. because they're born here.
Yeah.
Secondly, they will have their own citizenship from the country of birth of their parents.
Yeah.
Okay. And now, who do you pay the allegiance?
Right.
Okay. this should be stopped. I'm 100% with in agreement with the Solicitor General and the administration that wants to have this whole thing settled. And I really hope America understands.
Hey, Cecil, where are you from? Are you born American, or where are you from? Real quick.
Of course, no, I wasn't born here.
Where?
I was born in Sri Lanka, Ceylon, at the time, and I lived here since 1981.
Well, thank you so much,
Okay,
Cecil.
long time.
Yeah, we got to go to break, but Cecil, I really appreciate the call. We got to go to break. We're against a hard break. I appreciate. Thanks so much for calling in too. I think this is your first time.
Yeah.
All right.
No, I talked to.
Yeah, we'll be right back.
Alex Marlow explains the thought process.
This is the whole thing, is they regard those that enforce our federal law as lawless. This is the gaslighting the Democrats do. They tell you that the people who are tasked with enforcing some of our most important laws, our immigration and custom laws, those are the ones who are violating the law. The lying is just at a whole new level at this moment in Donald Trump's administration.
The Alex Marlow Show. Afternoons at 3, right before Sean Thompson at 4 on AM 560. The Answer.
Fox News, I'm Jane Fergus. A search for a soldier in Iran.
This is one of the U.S. service members who was on board one of those 2 downed planes in the last day. We do know that search and rescue teams were able to go in and rescue the pilot of that F-15E. But again, the other service member is still not accounted for.
It's Fox's Alex Hogan. The Artemis II continues its moon mission.
When they fly around the far side of the moon on Monday, they're likely to see some features directly with human eyes that previously could only be seen in satellite photos.
It's Fox's Jonathan Seri. Artemis II is scheduled for a 6-hour flyby past the moon and should have a view of both the lunar north and south poles. A splashdown in the Pacific is slated for Friday. America's listening to Fox News.
Attention Link EBT card holders. If you use SNAP benefits to buy food, please listen carefully. Rules for SNAP eligibility have changed. You could lose your benefits if you don't act soon. Visit SaveOurSNAP.org to learn about new rules, how they impact you, and the steps you should take to keep your food benefits. Don't wait. Go to SaveOurSNAP.org today. Sponsored by the Illinois Commission to End Hunger. Aired in cooperation with the Illinois Broadcasters Association and this station.
The following advertisement includes a celebrity impersonation.
The summer heat in Chicagoland is no joke. And if your old air conditioner is making funny noises, you may already know it's time for a new unit.
Look, your air conditioner, it's a disaster. People are telling me it's the worst ever.
Don't sweat it, literally. When it comes to cooling your home, Air Right Heating and Cooling does it the best.
And they love our country. Beautiful people.
Rebates are still available, financing is flexible, and at Air Right installations are smooth and professional with no surprises.
It's beautiful. Some people say it's the coolest air anyone's ever felt. I don't know. That's just what they're saying. It's doing an incredible job. Really tremendous.
Plus, tell them AM 560 sent you and Air Right will give you $56 off any service. Visit Air Right Heating and Cooling today at AIR-RITE.com. Again, that's AIR-RITE.com. Air Right Heating and Cooling, doing it right since 1959.
What happens when a school is truly built around teenage girls? Their growth, their confidence, their faith, their future? You get bold young women who lead without hesitation, speak without fear, and discover exactly who they're meant to be. Rosary College Prep in Aurora is the only all-girls college prep high school in the western suburbs, and we've been doing this since 1962. We know how girls learn best. That's why our students thrive in STEM, the arts, and leadership at remarkable rates, even earning AP Platinum status from the College Board. At Rosary, your daughter won't just be educated. She'll be seen, challenged, and supported every single day. Girls here collaborate, inspire each other, and grow grounded in faith and driven by purpose. Come see it for yourself. Schedule a personal tour at rosaryprep.org. That's rosaryprep.org.
If you're near retirement or thinking about retiring, you probably have a lot of questions. How do you make your savings last?
How much should you take out and when? You're ready for retirement, but are your finances? I'm Edward Jones financial advisor, Nolan Webster. Let's work together to make sure your finances meet your unique needs over the long haul. You've done what it takes to get there. Now it's time to make the most of retirement. Call me at 224-801-6107 to schedule an appointment. That's 224-801-6107. Edward Jones, member SIPC.
I didn't switch to Pure Talk just because I wanted to save 50% off the same 5G service I'd been paying twice as much for. I switched because I like the idea of being in business with a wireless company that supports our veterans in a meaningful way. Pure Talk also creates American jobs every day by keeping their entire operation in this country. I appreciate that. If you feel the same, dial pound 250, say Mike Rowe, and switch to an American wireless company that actually stands for something. Pure Talk.
I'm Boomer Esiason. My mom died from cancer. She was only 37 years old. She didn't have life insurance, and that was devastating for my family. That's why having life insurance is so important to me. Ethos makes it fast and easy. Get a quote in seconds, apply in minutes, and get same-day coverage. You can get up to $3 million in coverage with no medical exam.
Get your free quote at ethos.com/save. That's ethos.com/save. Paid spokesperson. Time spent on application may vary. Online health questions required.
It's the show the mainstream media doesn't want you to know about. It's Black and Right with John Anthony.
Welcome back to Black and Right Radio, AM 560 Chicago, 92.7 FM, and AM 1400 Michigan, Detroit, Michigan. All right, guys, I got a guest coming up, so I'm going to take your calls. I need you guys to be quick. Michael, Southside, what's up, brother?
Hey. Hey, John.
Hey.
Hi, Dennis. Thank you both for taking my call, and thank you for working on Easter weekend.
No problem.
I can't imagine being an American parent and watching my kid have to compete with an anchor baby for a job, a college scholarship, a job or a college scholarship, or a place in a selective enrollment school.
Yeah.
That's insane.
Yeah.
So, thank you.
I wouldn't worry about who was born here, John. I was just talking to John offline. In sanctuary states, does it really matter where you're from?
No.
In Illinois, we give everybody every right, if not more, than its own residents and citizens.
That's true. Let's go to Mike from Yorkville. What's up, Mike? Mike, you there? All right, we're going to put Mike on hold. Now, Brian from Evansville, Indiana.
Doing a happy Easter holiday. Since I got to do this quickly, I'm going to give y'all some.
Well, Brian, you can call back if you want. You want to call back so I can get more time?
Well, it ain't going to take that long.
All right, go ahead.
All right. I'm going to name two presidents who shaped the 14th Amendment. Let's start off with James Monroe. I think he was president in the 1820s. He the one who colonized Liberia for the free Negroes 30 years before the Civil War. The problem with that is it wasn't working out too well because you were sending black freedmen who only know English, who only know Christianity, and they was clashing with the natives.
Yeah.
So by the time the Civil War came on, you had no choice but to give the free Negroes citizenship. Now let's go to Chester Arthur. He the one who signed the Chinese Exclusionary Act, which you had to be in this country for 10 years before they would offer Chinese railroad workers citizenship. The difference between them is you had a place to deport them. We had nowhere to go, the American Negroes at the time, because most of our tribes and stuff didn't exist no more. So a lot of people is piggybacking on that.
Yep.
It was basically for free American Negroes
That was it.
who lost all their cultural identity.
Yeah.
Thanks for hearing me.
All right, no problem. But Dennis, there's a lot of different things that came out of the 14th Amendment, though, didn't it?
There is quite a bit, and so that's why it's probably the most impactful amendment that was passed.
That and the 10th, I'd say.
And the 10th.
The 10th and the 14th. And well, the Second Amendment is the most important of them all, in my opinion, because it defends the rest of them, in my opinion. You don't have a Second Amendment. Look at what happened in these countries where they don't. Look at Iran. The people of Iran couldn't rise up because they couldn't defend themselves. Well, what does Dan say? Hi-yo, hey-yo, hi-yo, whatever he says. But real quick, guys, I got an interview, so you guys want to call back, you can call back. But Dennis, right now, I think there's a quiet decision being made inside businesses across this country. And Dennis, there's so many people that don't see it. Costs are going up, labor, compliance, insurance. and especially technology. Here's the problem, Dennis. Businesses cannot raise their prices at the same pace those costs are rising without losing customers. So something has to give. And increasingly, what is given is cybersecurity. You know, the upgrades, they get delayed, protections get scaled back, entire layers of defense get pushed to next quarter, not because business owners don't care, but because the math isn't working. Joining us now is Rich Miller. He's the owner of Stack Cybersecurity, a leader in the cybersecurity and business technology space, working directly with companies navigating these exact pressures. He's been on the front lines helping organizations balance growth, cost control, and an increasing demand for real security in a rapidly changing threat environment. Rich, appreciate you joining us.
Thanks, John Anthony. Nice to be here.
Pleasure. Rich, let's start with the core issues. Are businesses today being forced into choosing between profitability and cybersecurity?
They are. You hit the nail on the head. The business is not keeping up with the pace at what cybersecurity is advancing. So we see this all the time where, you know, you've got a business that has an IT infrastructure and it's designed around 5, 6, 7 years ago, and their IT spend is X. And now all of a sudden we have to start looking at all of the cybersecurity stuff. Some of our prices double, if not triple, when we add cybersecurity protections and strong tools and stuff like that. And businesses aren't prepared for it. And the first thing I hear is, well, we can't afford this.
Yeah. So what actually happens? Walk us through what actually happens when a company delays or skips security upgrades. Walk us through the real world impact.
Well, what it does is it creates tech debt. Tech debt is when businesses cut corners with technology, and then they end up having to pay for it later. So saying you can't afford cybersecurity protections, but then getting hacked 5 months later or 12 months later and paying a ransom or paying legal fees, stuff like that. I've seen all of this. I've seen where, you know, we propose increasing your IT spend. Let's just say small business, you know, 30 people.
I'm sorry, Rich. I got so lost in translation. I didn't even look at the clock. Dennis, you're supposed to warn me that the clock is running out. I got a guest co-host in today, Rich, and he's not warning me. I literally got caught up in the conversation. More with Rich from Stack Cybersecurity when we get back.
For 25 years, Applied Mechanical Sales has kept Chicago's commercial buildings warm and running smoothly. From schools and churches to high-rises and hotels, they provide the boilers, water heaters, and exhaust systems that contractors and engineers count on. Whether it's a replacement project or a new construction, Applied Mechanical helps you select the right equipment, standard or high efficiency, for your specific application. What sets them apart? They match the right Camas equipment to your building's exact needs, so it performs flawlessly through Chicago winters for the next 15 to 20 years. And they don't disappear after installation. Applied Mechanical ensures your systems run at peak efficiency year after year. Are you a degreed mechanical engineer looking to lead a growing sales team? They'd love to talk to you. Schedule a site visit and boiler assessment at appliedmechanicalsales.com. That's appliedmechanicalsales.com.
Platform safety is critical at your commercial and industrial facility. Keeping people safe and meeting OSHA requirements isn't optional. That's why Vans Industrial offers free platform inspections by professional structural engineers who know exactly what to look for. Problems with platforms, ladders, or stairs can lead to costly fines or worse. Vans Industrial helps you meet OSHA standards to protect people in your facility.
Hi, I'm Dave Van Camp, president of Vans Industrial. With decades of experience, I bring long-standing industry knowledge from inspecting, correcting, and replacing countless platforms to make facilities safer. Vans Industrial is a specialty contractor equipped to modify or replace steel catwalks, handrails, stairways, and ladders. Our union building trades professionals fabricate and install high-quality steel systems that create safer work environments.
Call 833-VANS-IND for a free platform inspection by professional structural engineers. See what else we can do for you. Visit vansindustrial.com. That's VANS Industrial.com.
President Trump has triggered a $200 billion tech disruption, and Wall Street is asleep at the switch. This $200 billion investment in chip technology could make today's artificial intelligence chips obsolete. Technology that will make today's AI data centers a thing of the past, like IBM's old mainframes. While most investors are focused on old-fashioned AI, there are 3 companies quietly building a trillion-dollar triangle that could transform every tech sector on Earth. These 3 companies are gearing up to develop and manufacture supercomputers the size of a dinner plate. Institutions like Vanguard, BlackRock, and State Street are pouring more than $200 billion into this AI revolution. Investment guru George Gilder has been predicting tech revolutions for more than 40 years, including the iPhone, Netflix, and Amazon. Now he's got his finger on 3 companies whose technology will change tech forever. Log on to TrillionDollarTriangle.com to find out which 3 companies are working on what could be the biggest tech disruption since the internet. TrillionDollarTriangle.com. That's TrillionDollarTriangle.com.
This is Black and Right with John Anthony.
Welcome back to Black and Right. Before the break, we were talking to Rich Miller. He's the CEO, I believe, of Stack Cybersecurity, the man in charge. But we already know Tracy runs the company, but that's neither here nor there, Rich.
Absolutely.
But I want you to finish your comment, and I know Dennis has a couple of questions for you as well.
Yeah, we were talking about tech debt. Tech debt is when businesses cut corners on IT and end up having to pay for it later. And businesses are being forced into this with cybersecurity. I was kind of mentioning that, we have companies, let's say, a 20-person IT company, and they may spend $4,000 a month on IT in general, right? And then all of a sudden, all of these cybersecurity tools are coming out, and now their spend goes to $6,000 or $7,000 a month, and they can't afford it. It's really tough. And the cybersecurity tools are important. Like we're depending and we're relying on really strong companies like Kaseya and their Rocket Cyber program, or their SIM, or ThreatLocker has a zero trust program. These take engineering, they take effort. It's not just hey, we can support your Outlook anymore. We've got to engineer networks. We have to design them to be secure. And the biggest thing that we find that businesses are missing is SIM. SIM is security information and event management. And so the beautiful thing about SIM is when a company gets hacked, they always come to us and say, what happened? And we look them in the eye and say, we don't know. They say, well, how long have they been in our systems? We don't know.
Wow.
Right. and so SIM needs to be in place ahead of time. So think of it like a black box, right? You don't wreck the plane and then drive out to the crash site and put the black box on top of the wreckage and stand there for a week and wait and see what happens.
Wow.
Right. But this is what happens with a business that doesn't have cybersecurity and then has a hack and then relies on their insurance to do incident response. They literally drive out to the wreck, put SIM in place, and wait and see if anything happens. You have to have the black box in place before the plane takes off.
Yeah.
Rich, this is Dennis Rebeletti, and I was speaking with Tracy actually a couple weeks ago, and I have a law practice, and we were talking about what's required for cybersecurity for my malpractice insurance to cover any events. When I was a township supervisor here in Illinois, our insurance carrier required us, all the employees, had to take classes and make sure you were talking directly to your IT people in case anything happened. Is that where insurance companies are because they don't want to then pay out a ransom or pay out for whatever other damages there are?
So what we see is the insurance questionnaires for cybersecurity insurance. There's 2 types of cybersecurity insurance to start with. Regular business owner policies tend to have a cyber rider, and this is very minimal. It may be a $100,000 policy. It's very minimal. You need to get a standalone, typically a standalone $1 million cyber policy on its own. And the questionnaires that come every year for these are growing and growing and growing, and they're asking all the same things. Our entire product suite that we sell is modeled around the cybersecurity insurance questionnaire, which is modeled around CIS control.
Well,
and SIM and managed detection and response, those are all part of it.
Are there times that insurance doesn't cover? Because I know that in my cybersecurity policy, it tells me I have to take proactive measures and I would assume that's where you guys would come in. And if I'm not, obviously, we have a lot of sensitive information that if we're not protecting that, then I'm on the hook and they may not cover an event. Is that what you're finding also?
Absolutely, yeah. And not only that, what's happening is when some businesses tend to answer their questionnaires on their own. A lot of our clients, I sit down with them as like their acting CIO or virtual CIO and go through this with them and explain everything to them and let them make their decision. But a lot of businesses just fill these out. And so when the question is, do you have MFA for all endpoints? And they're like, oh yeah, we've got that MFA thing. Well, when only 12 of 37 user accounts have it, the insurance company is not going to pay that claim.
Well, that makes a lot of sense because when I fill those forms out, here I am an attorney, but I don't know IT. So it asks me specific questions that I never even thought to speak to somebody like you and your wife and your firm and say, here, sit down with me. It's no different than talking to my accountant to deal with IRS issues that really all of us professionals dealing with sensitive information need to find a cybersecurity firm that can walk us through to make sure that our insurance is covered and our clients are protected. Yeah, I agree. And basically, these days, 2026, we're seeing major attacks coming down the pipe, and we're already seeing a really strong activity with CEOs themselves being targeted.
Yeah. Rich, when we come back from break, I want us to zoom this conversation out and look at a bigger picture, because when you think about what's happening in the world, you think about what's happening over there in Iran, when you think about China, when you think about enemies of America, are CEOs prepared for those type of attacks? Because this is starting to happen a lot more, and even as a private citizen too, they're just going after information, period, right?
Yeah. We're actively tracking an incident or an activity right now where CEOs across a lot of our client base are all being targeted, because we're seeing like our SIM, our Kaseya SIM, it flags these messages, and then when we search them, we can see them across multiple clients. And so we've sent out notices that, hey, CEOs, you're being targeted right now.
Now, when we come back from break,
everything.
When we come back from break, I want you to talk to the audience about how STAC can come in and do the assessment to determine if this is happening, or if it's, how to best prepare against this type of attack. We're talking to Rich Miller, CEO of STAC Cybersecurity. We'll be right back.
Hi, I'm Ken Mariotti, owner of Woodland Windows and Doors, a third-generation family-owned business since 1969. We know you're bombarded by choices when shopping for new windows or doors, so we're inviting you to experience the Woodland difference. For decades, we have been transforming living spaces with Marvin Windows, a fifth-generation family business. Marvin replacement windows have been known to increase the warmth of your cold rooms by 10 degrees. Think about that, 10 degrees warmer. When you welcome Woodland into your home, you will get a product expert to transform your living spaces, full-time, dedicated professional installers that you can trust in your home, along with the best products like Marvin. These are the reasons we're proud of our 5-star reviews and family legacy. No gimmicks, no pressure, and upfront pricing are why Woodland Windows and Doors is your trusted window and door expert in Chicagoland. Visit woodlandwindows.com to book your free in-home expert consultation. That's woodlandwindows.com, or stop by our showroom at the corner of Lake and Geary in Roselle.
You need a construction company, but who?
Call Crosscom.
A construction company you can trust that shares your Christian and conservative values. For decades, Crosscom has been doing work in Chicagoland, Northwest Indiana, and Wisconsin. Roofs, siding, windows, doors, gutters, basically everything for your home or business, even solar. Quality work and professional services that make you feel great about your decision to work with Crosscom.
Call Crosscom.
630-871-5500. Give them a chance to earn your business. If your repairs are due to storm, fire, or flood damage, you need to
call Crosscom.
They're licensed public adjusters. They work for you, not the insurance company. Crosscom will work to get you the money you deserve, the maximum payout. They know the insurance companies and how to deal with them. They win for you.
Call Crosscom.
Crosscom Construction and Public Adjusters.
This is Dan Lights with Crosscom. You can trust us with your home or business for high quality work and fair prices. It's the only way we do business.
630-871-5500. CrossCommPublicAdjusters.com.
And now, more Black and Right with John Anthony.
Welcome back to Black and Right Radio. Before the break, we were speaking with Rich Miller from Stack Cybersecurity. Rich, to those who are listening, who are hearing this conversation, and they're like, man, cybersecurity really isn't that important. If you're a CEO, if you have a small business, how important is it to have an assessment done? And walk us through what Stack will do for that CEO, that small business owner, or even that individual who's like, dude, I'm tired of getting hacked. Like my blackandrightradio.com website has been hacked. I can't even get into it. What can Stack's cybersecurity do for those individuals?
Well, we typically do some sort of an assessment, cybersecurity risk assessment, or a PII assessment, that type of thing. We scan your network. We take a look at what's on there. We take a look at what critical vulnerabilities are out there. So essentially what it does is it replicates what a threat actor or a hacker would find once they reach your network. And they're reaching your network. They're reaching your network via business email compromise, a BEC. They're reaching your network with malware and ransomware software that has drive-by download. This stuff comes from everywhere. Telecommuters are especially. When you're a telecommuter, you're doing whatever you want on your computer and your network in the evening, and then during the day you start working.
Yeah.
And so that leaves a vulnerability where zero trust needs to come into play. So what we'll do is we'll scan the network, we'll identify the vulnerabilities, we'll talk about what it takes to remediate them, and then we'll make a plan and we'll offer to put the plan in place and work it. There's a difference between, so we're a security-focused managed service provider. There are managed security service providers, MSSPs, but they don't typically do the work. They'll just give you a recommendation and say good luck.
Yeah.
And some managed service providers, although we are all being forced to enter the cybersecurity space, some aren't in there, right? Great managed service providers are providing cybersecurity as well. So we're all bridging the gap between an MSP and an MSSP. That's what Stack Cyber does.
Yeah.
And we focus on local Michigan, Chicago-based businesses, and we're seeing all of these attacks in real time on a regular basis.
If someone wanted to reach out to you, Rich, how can they do that? If they wanted to get your business to do this assessment, how can they find you guys? Is there the website, email, phone number? How do they reach you?
Yes. Our website is good to go. It's not locked out. You can reach us at stackcyber.com, or you can email us at info@stackcyber.com.
Yeah, Rich Miller. Go ahead, real quick.
If I have one more minute, I'd just like to point out that the easiest way into a network is a business email compromise, and I want to illustrate just how easy business email compromises are, because this is exactly what happened to Kash Patel. That's how they got his email. They got into his email. Typically, he clicked a link. Somebody clicked a link. So even somebody at that level can do this, because these attacks are sophisticated, right? This is all being exacerbated by the Iran war. They're attacking us in this fashion.
Yeah.
So I just want to remind business owners and business workers, really, they really need to not trust anything, question everything, not trust anything. And if you're unsure, don't click a link. Don't click a link. Don't call a phone number. If it's prodding you, reach out to your IT and find the best direction.
Yeah. And Rich, next time you come on, or if you or Tracy come on, remember the question I sent you? The whole location services, how dangerous is that for us? I think it is. It is. Knowing where people are. I think people can use that I think that's how Trump and them are finding a lot of these people over in the Middle East. So, Rich Miller, CEO of Stack Cybersecurity, thanks so much for joining us on Black and Right. Guys, go visit the website real quick one more time.
Stackcyber.com.
Stackcyber.com. Thanks so much for joining us, Rich.
Thanks, John Anthony. Appreciate it.
Don't go anywhere. Give us a call, 312-642-5600. Hour 2 coming up next.
Here's a tale of Becky. Didn't know what to do with new meds prescribed and no real cost clue.
She squinted at prices, that can't be right. Then tapped GoodRx and saw the light.
She can get a deal. Book telehealth if she feels.
Learn about those meds without any stress. That one little app does all the rest. Even my horse downloaded it. Dang, save time and money on prescriptions.
Check GoodRx. GoodRx is not insurance.
I'm Boomer Esiason. My mom died from cancer. She was only 37 years old. She didn't have life insurance, and that was devastating for my family. That's why having life insurance is so important to me. Ethos makes it fast and easy. Get a quote in seconds, apply in minutes, and get same-day coverage. You can get up to $3 million in coverage with no medical exam.
Get your free quote at ethos.com/save. That's ethos.com/save. Paid spokesperson. Time spent on application may vary. Online health questions required.
News, opinion, insight. This is AM 560, The Answer. WIND, Chicago. Streaming at 560theanswer.com on the AM 560 mobile app, or tell your smart speaker to play The Answer, Chicago.
Looking for a soldier. I'm Jane Fergus, Fox News. Search and rescue teams are trying to find a missing U.S. airman after Iran shot down an American fighter jet. Fox's Alex Hogan at the White House with more.
Today, the war enters its 6th week. President Trump warned Iran today about his approaching April 6th deadline to open up the Strait of Hormuz. And Senator Lindsey Graham says that he spoke with the president today, writing, quote, "I'm completely convinced that he will use overwhelming military force against the regime if they continue to impede the Strait of Hormuz and refuse a diplomatic solution to achieve our military objectives." Now, in terms of what we are hearing from the president, we know he is here today at the White House. But when he was asked about whether or not this service member would impact potential negotiations with Iran, the president said it would not.
Israeli forces say they are pausing strikes in the region where the airmen went missing in southwestern Iran. And as the war with Iran continues, new polling shows many Americans remain opposed to expanding military action. Republican Congresswoman Nancy Mace, speaking on Fox News Live, says Americans with loved ones in uniform are demanding answers, warning that no one wants another forever war.
We owe them an answer to the question of how does this end? As we do with every single conflict. And it's been difficult to watch over the last 70 years. I can't name a single conflict where we've bombed Islam into peace. And so that's why these negotiations are so important right now to ensure Iran doesn't get nuclear weapons.
President Trump, in his address to the nation last week, said the war is nearing completion, but he did not give a specific timeline. America's listening to Fox News.
Now, your official weather forecast.
Tonight will be mostly cloudy with a low of 36. On Sunday, expect a breezy day with a mix of clouds and sunshine and a high of 55. Sunday night will be partly cloudy with a chance of a late shower and a low of 39. Monday will be breezy with intervals of clouds and sunshine reaching a high of 50. I'm meteorologist Jason Caterina on AM 560, The Answer.
Get the latest weather, traffic, and news updates online at 560theanswer.com.
A great smile can make you feel happy and confident. So when you consciously conserve your teeth, that glowing smile will show through. At Best Dental Group, doctors Economos, Gave Alice, and their staff are ready to help you create that perfect look or maintain the one you have now. Along with general dentistry, Best Dental Group is a multidiscipline practice with an orthodontist, periodontist, and prosthetic specialists on site. They use the newest breakthroughs in dental technology such as titanium implants, Invisalign clear braces, and laser treatments. Don't let fear get in the way. They can recommend sedation to make your experience as comfortable as possible. Best Dental Group is located in historic downtown Bartlett and is a multilingual office. Call 630-830-4930, 630-830-4930, or visit bestdental.org. Best Dental Group, sharing your conservative values and helping you to conserve your teeth.
Hey, I'm Kirk Cameron. Is health insurance eating up your budget for 2026? If you're looking for ways to better steward your finances, consider this: Christian Healthcare Ministries. It's a health insurance alternative at half the cost. Join CHM today by visiting chministries.org/wellness. While insurance companies tell you when to join, what to pay, and where to go, CHM is different. As a ministry, CHM allows you to share the burden of medical bills with other Christians. You can enroll, switch programs, or leave at any time. Christian Healthcare Ministries. It's a world of difference. CHM has 4 flexible programs. You can pick any certified doctor, surgeon, or hospital that you want for eligible care. So make the switch. Take your paycheck back from health insurance this year. Join CHM today by visiting chministries.org/wellness. That's chministries.org/wellness.
Welcome back to Ask Hassleus.
What's in the Hassleus having any mattress right now?
Whoa, your low talking reminds me of way too low pricing at Hassleus Mattress.
Are they really low?
How low? Our 35 beds from the top 5 brands start at $293.
So you have no employees in your showroom?
If you're inquiring about a free box spring with the purchase of any Sealy Posturepedic or Beautyrest mattress, employee-free showrooms, and free next-day delivery, the answer is yes.
Holy cow!
Find an employee-free showroom near you at Hassleus.com.
Portions of the following show may be pre-recorded.
AM 560, The Answer. Prepare to have your mind opened. The lies of the mainstream media are about to be exposed, and the hypocrisy of the left is about to be revealed. This is a revolution in how you think about politics, race, and culture. You've tuned into Black and Right with John Anthony.
I'm coming in hot. Yeah, coming in hot. Just like the fajita. I write what I live. My life in the speaker. I'm nice with the flow.
Welcome back. Hour 2, Black and Right Radio. AM 560 Chicago, 92.7 FM, and AM 1400. The Answer. Detroit, Michigan, Dennis.
John, I have a question for you.
Yeah, what up?
We have 2 teams, Illinois and Michigan, and we have 2 cities, Chicago and the suburbs, and we have Detroit and the suburbs there. Is Illinois going to make it? Is Michigan going to make it?
That would be amazing. That would be amazing if that happened, brother. I'm not torn. I love Michigan, but, I used to live in Champaign. So I actually used to live right next door to Wayne McClain.
Did you
assistant
really?
head coach. And I mentioned them in the book.
From Peoria.
I mentioned them in the book, though. I mentioned how my son's friendship with Sergio McClain, son, Sergio McClain Jr., they formed a tight bond, and they went fishing. They went to every football game together, every Illini basketball. Wayne McClain, Coach McClain used to give my son all type of jerseys and hats, and he was in love with that, man. And I miss Wayne McClain, man. He was a class act.
Well, let's see what happens. I know we cover a lot of serious topics, but we get to enjoy a few things. Like, let's see what happens with the Flying Illini.
You mean
remember
like
them back in 1980? Yes. Well, I went to Eastern Illinois. It's the public Ivy of the Midwest.
Tony Romo.
Only 40 minutes south of beautiful Champaign.
What's that? Romo and Garoppolo, right?
That's right.
Yeah. I mean, look at that. They brought fame
Sean Payton.
Sean Payton.
Kevin Duckworth. Don't get me started, sir.
Okay. I went to Benedictine, so,
Itty bitty college.
Yeah, it is. But before we go to the calls, you remember when I was talking about national security threat, Dennis? Did you hear about the attack? Well, I just want you to hear this about China.
This is a Fox News alert. The Department of Homeland Security revealing that the 2 suspects in an attempted attack on MacDill Air Force Base last month were beneficiaries of birthright citizenship. Their parents were in the country illegally and are now also in federal custody. Alan Zhang is accused of placing an explosive device at the Air Force Base last month. His sister, Anne Mary, pictured in the upper right corner of your screen, allegedly tried to help him evade the law. That we knew. But now we know DHS is saying those siblings are American citizens born by illegal Chinese immigrants, pictured to the lower right of your screen. They applied for asylum back in 1993, were denied asylum in 1998, ordered to be removed, but remained in the U.S. illegally for decades. They raised 2 children who would later go on to put the men and women of our military at risk. Now, this comes at a time where the Trump administration is fighting to eliminate the dangers of our current birthright citizenship and the door that it opens to birth tourism.
I am telling you, if we don't see the national security perspective, listen, this is not about Mexico. This is not about Mexicans. This is about protecting the citizens of America.
John, did you hear? So I was listening to the legal portion of it, and there was a court. First of all, it took 5 years for an asylum hearing.
Yeah.
Think about that.
Yeah.
That's back in the 90s.
Yeah.
Okay? 5 years before they were adjudicated. Then guess what? They were adjudicated and said, you have to self-deport. They did not.
Nope.
But you know what? That's a civil proceeding. There are no judicial warrants that the Democrats claim that you have to have so that you can execute a warrant on somebody. They call them detainers.
Yeah.
So who should then remove them legally from the country? I know ICE would normally be the ones that would do that. However, I'm sorry, it's a civil procedure. Who cares? Nobody's trying to pick them up. And then 35 years later, here we are. Those children are trying to attack the United States of America, domestic terrorism. It's here, ladies and gentlemen. So here's what I'm thinking, John. Maybe on your Facebook page.
Okay.
Everybody here, every resident of this state should be talking to their congressmen and our senators to ask for the end of chain migration. Forget about the birthright citizenship. No chain migration. A child is born here. That child's entitled to citizenship. That's it.
Yeah.
You don't. Mom and dad don't
Can't
come
be
in.
citizens.
Cousins and aunts and uncles. Forget about all of that.
Yeah, that's a great point. Look what you did to the phone lines. Can you see the?
No, I don't. I can't see the phone. I can only see you, John.
Do you see it now?
Oh, I do. I do. We have one line free if you want to call in.
Let's go to Mike from Yorkville. Mike, sorry to have you hold it, man, but I had that guess. I brought you on. You didn't say anything.
Can you hear me now?
Mm-hmm.
Oh, good. Well, you know, I was just listening to that news article they had with Fox News. Get me corrected here. They're planting an explosive device at the Air Force Base, and their last name is Bang.
Oh, gosh.
Okay, the story writes itself. All right. Anyways, you know, John, you pointed out, you know, birthright citizenship, and you had the laundry list of thank you, the laundry list of countries that don't allow it. Now, mirror that same list with voter ID laws in those same countries. I bet they mirror. So there you go. But, you know, and this is, you hit on, and I'm glad you have Dennis on today, because we have a legal scholar that we can present this to, this idea of the arguments. So, of course, we hear argument, well, the slaves came here and we had to get them in and everything else. The slaves were brought over here legally. And you got to understand, during that time, legally, they were allowed to be sold.
Against their will, legally, but against their will.
Yes, against their will. But you got to understand, what we currently have is people paying others to get them into this country. That's a difference. That's a huge difference of what goes on. So therefore, that argument that anybody makes, and of course Dennis would know, every case has its own merits.
Yeah.
So here you go, Dennis. Would you say that is a clear and definitive argument of the difference between it and why birthright citizenship has never been allowed? It's only been allowed in the sense of people that were forced here, and now they were legal residents because of a war. But these people came willingly to violate our own laws. And also, no illegal action can actually make a legal outcome.
Correct.
So therefore, all their actions that they've done, purchasing homes or purchasing cars, everything's illegal. It should actually be confiscated, taken away.
Yeah, Dennis, before you answer, hold on, Mike. Before you answer that, and they're off. Illinois versus UConn. The game has started. Go ahead, Dennis. Go ahead.
Here, that's why you get quite an education when you're listening to the Solicitor General put out all of the information and the cases that have dealt with birthright citizenship.
Get it out.
Is that here? As things have changed, the courts have changed, times have changed. So instead of looking at it back in the mirror of the late 1800s, we're looking at it through the scope of 2026. and the lives have changed, people have changed, the citizens have changed. Everything is different. But now you're correct in that where are we going to go? They call in the court non-pro-tunc. We're going to go back and make things legal even though they were illegal. So I go back to I don't believe the naturalization statutes mirror the 14th Amendment, and that's going to be some of the problems that you're seeing right now.
There you go, Mike. Thanks, Mike. Appreciate the call. Let's go to Craig from Mount Greenwood. What's up, Craig? Craig and them.
Oh, hey, John. Hello, John. Hey, thank you for taking my call.
You're welcome.
You got a lot of good topics going today, and lots of things I could say on all different points. But I'm going to narrow things down to the one thing that I believe is just because tomorrow is Resurrection Sunday, the most important thing, and. So what I want to mention, John, is, I talk to people and I wish them a happy Resurrection Sunday. And it's always like, hey, happy Easter and everything. I've got friends that they'll say happy Easter. And just like where Christmas, sometimes people think it's all about Santa Claus and all stuff like that. People, the two most important, holidays, you might say, or celebrations we have is the birth of our Savior. And then when our Savior conquered sin and death for us to save us. And so I just wanted to, today, mention to, all of us, and especially that we remind our families and our friends that, we're celebrating. The celebration is probably the most important one. I mean, it was really important that Jesus was born, but he came and born with a mission. He came here, and it was 33 years after he was born that he basically completed that mission when he basically took that where he was improperly, unjustly charged with crimes and all that, and then they beat the hell out of him and everything really bad, and everything so badly, and then they murdered him on the cross, but they threw him in that tomb.
Couldn't keep him there.
Yeah,
they couldn't keep him
there. Early Sunday morning, that big stone was rolled out of there. The garments were sitting there. He wasn't there. And then following that, the people seen him and everything. He was alive, and he conquered sin and death for us. So just by simple faith, we can be in heaven together one day.
Amen. Thank you, Craig. I appreciate that. Good Holy Week message. I really do. Thank you. You're listening to Black and Right. Guys, hold the line. Dennis, you blew up the lines again this week, but that's okay. That's what you do. We'll be right back.
Make sure that you never miss a day of Sean Thompson when you subscribe to the Sean Thompson Show podcast, presented by the Alpha Wealth Group. Listen to the entire show each day on demand with limited commercial breaks. You can subscribe today for free at 560theanswer.com and click on podcasts, or search for The Sean Thompson Show on Apple, Spotify, or wherever you listen to podcasts.
Your financial future deserves more than just a financial strategy. It deserves a dedicated resource. Meet Michelle Shute with West Point Financial Group, a Mass Mutual firm. With almost 2 decades of experience, Michelle builds lifelong relationships, guiding families through legacy strategies from grandparents down to grandkids, helping people secure their financial independence. Michelle Shute is focused on needs, not just numbers, and that means retirement planning, life insurance, and estate planning strategies. Whether preparing for college, retirement, or protecting your business, Michelle's needs-based approach helps you prepare for life's biggest moments. Start building your financial future today. Call Michelle at 224-499-3665. That's 224-499-3665. Michelle Shute of West Point Financial Group, helping you earn, learn, and secure your tomorrow. Local firms or sales offices of Massachusetts Mutual Life Insurance Company. Mass Mutual, Springfield, Massachusetts, 01111-001, and are not subsidiaries of Mass Mutual or its affiliated companies. Michelle Shute is a registered representative of and offers securities through MML Investor Services, LLC, member SIPC. Supervisory office located at 30 South Wacker Drive, Suite 2700, Chicago, Illinois, 60606.
Making the switch to a new communications and IT company may seem like a big ordeal, but if you're not getting the reliable support, consistent internet, and secure solutions your company needs, meet Access One, your local Chicagoland IT experts. Access One has been powering Chicago businesses with secure, reliable IT solutions for over 30 years from our headquarters right here in the West Loop. Whether it's VoIP phones, dedicated internet, managed cybersecurity, cloud backups, or 24/7 support, Access One is here for you. Serving thousands of companies from Naperville to the North Shore, Access One is Chicago-owned and Chicago-run, a trusted IT partner for law firms, clinics, tech startups to manufacturers. We'll make the switch easier than you think. Let's talk. Call 800-804-8333 or visit accessoneInc.com. Rated top 5% in customer satisfaction and a Better Business Bureau A+ rated business. That's access1inc.com. Tech made personal locally.
Hey AM 560 listeners, Jeff checking in again from jeffbuysyourhouse.com. What I learned serving our great nation in the military is that every mission is unique and success starts with listening. For nearly 20 years, our veteran-led house buying team has taken the time to understand what matters most to each homeowner we serve. Every home has a story, and every seller has different needs. Whether you want a quick closing or need extra time to find your next place, we customize our approach around what works best for you. That's how we've earned hundreds of 5-star Google reviews and an A+ rating with the BBB, by putting relationships first. No repairs needed, no cleanout required, and you pick the closing date that works best for your schedule. At jeffbuysyourhouse.com, we're here to help you through the entire transition, not just the transaction. Are you ready to work with a local team that takes the time to understand your home selling needs? Sell your house to the trusted source by calling us today at 630-895-9530. That's 630-895-9530 or jeffbuysyourhouse.com.
Black and Right continues. Once again, here's John Anthony.
Welcome back to Black and Right Radio. Let's go back to the phone lines. Let's go to Patrick from Royal Oaks, Michigan. Hey, Patrick.
Hey, happy Easter, John. How you doing, buddy?
I am doing well. How are you, sir?
Well, say a prayer for me. We're under a tornado warning until 10 o'clock here in the Royal Oak area, yeah.
That sounds like fun.
Yeah. Hey, listen, I just had 2 quick points. I didn't listen to all the testimony at the Supreme Court hearings. Well, I think they should have stressed 2 points. One is that this birthright citizenship is a severe security risk to our country. You're letting all these people in who could turn against us down the road or at any time. And the other thing is it really ethically and morally right to let people that come into this country illegally benefit from having a baby and having that baby becoming a U.S. citizen?
Yeah. Well, we discussed that ad nauseum in the first hour.
Oh, I heard it. Yeah.
Yeah, I agree with you there. I mean, I'm on record. I've gotten a lot of beef from conservatives because I'm not of the belief that we should kick everybody out that's been here. That's never committed any crimes, who are living life, who are being productive citizens of our society. Especially a lot of the kids, to no fault of their own. They're here now. The system created this, and now they're here. I don't think if you have not committed a crime, we should push them out. Let's get them, get in the back of the line, become a citizen, and let's figure this out. And Republicans, if Republicans don't see the opportunity that's before us to fix this, to get this right, and Republicans Donald Trump becomes the man who fixes immigration, the totality of immigration, Republican Party is going to be. I mean, how can we
John,
lose?
I'm going to blow the phone lines up again.
Okay, go ahead.
I can't believe you're this naive. Didn't we do this with Ronald Reagan and then Tip O'Neill?
No.
Reagan gave amnesty out.
Yeah.
Then the Democrats said, we're going to close the border. And guess what happened?
Yeah.
We gave amnesty to what? 3 million.
Yeah.
3 million.
That's what we counted.
That's
more than that.
Right. Let's just say we'll call it 3 million. And then the borders stay open. And then here we go again. What happens if J.D. Vance or Marco Rubio doesn't win? The border opens up. We have a new president.
That's a good point of looking at it.
And you give some type of amnesty or pathway. You sound like Hillary Clinton.
I do.
That's exactly what it sounded like.
But I guess that's where my liberal heartstrings, the liberalism in me comes out. I'm kidding.
When does it end? But when does it end, John?
Right.
Where do you say enough is enough? These are the laws, and we're enforcing them. The problem with America is nobody's enforced immigration laws for a number of years, and now you had Trump, who came in too heavy-handed, which is what I believe, and that's why you didn't see all the deportation issues with Obama or Biden or anybody else, because
he's doing the same thing that they're doing.
Right, but not in your face.
Correct.
So, and it's Trump, so they already hate him.
Not in your face. How do you get rid of them?
Well, here, you don't have to have Bovino face-to-face with everybody. You don't have to have Kristi Noem running commercials.
I agree with that.
And causing all the problems she did. They made a big mistake putting Kristi Noem he did. And I don't understand how he did that, why he would do that.
It's a little different, but Iran has killed thousands of their own citizens.
Tens of
Minnesota,
thousands.
2 Americans were killed because they interfered with police operations.
Oh, I'm not disagreeing with that. I'm just saying there is a way to carry out lawful actions.
But it's Trump. They wouldn't do it anyway.
But I agree with you in that respect too. But Kristi Noem made it they came out and said, "Here we go. This is what we're going to do," and they're in your face.
She's got her own problems with her husband, I guess.
I-O.
Know what I mean?
Yeah. Thanks, Patrick. I appreciate the call.
All right, buddy. Happy Easter.
All right. Happy Easter to you, too. Wow. I-O. Isn't that what Dan said?
Yeah, he does. Yeah.
My buddy Walter from Detroit, Michigan. What's up, brother?
My man. I didn't expect to get in on so soon.
Of course. When anytime I see Walter come on. What's up, brother?
Your show is so hot. You know, it's a good sign that a show is successful. Your show is when it gets so hot, it becomes national, and I might be able to get in once every other month.
Well, Detroit Morning Answer, you can get in right away, but this show is kind of hard to get in.
That's a good sign.
Yeah.
That's a good sign. That's success, man.
Yeah.
That's a sign of success, one of the signs. But, man, I got 2 subjects I want to talk on real quick.
Go ahead.
You know how these Republicans claiming to be Republicans?
Yeah.
You know, the rhinos, the establishment kind.
Mm-hmm.
You know how we get caught up in the latest fads. Not me, but them.
Yeah.
Our leaders. All these topics, all these issues, all these problems. Immigration. Let me touch off on immigration. Such a hot topic. Okay, I just heard your view on I am nasty instead of amnesty. I call it I am nasty.
We've had this conversation before. Do you forget? We've had this conversation.
Look, it wouldn't be a topic. It wouldn't be on the forefront. Our news anchors, the 6-figure paid psychological terrorist news reporters here in Michigan, across the country. The world news with George Stephanopoulos, David Kalmanur, Lester Holt. Thank God that black Negro is gone. That tap dancing Negro is gone from NBC.
Don't shut me down.
Thank God he's gone. Don't miss him. He was a useful idiot for the evil white liberal Democrats, the baby killers, the climate changers, the healthcare people, the destroyed American way of life. But thank God, these 6-figure paid liars, this is what I'm going to get to.
Uh-huh.
If they become citizens, the I am nasty people, amnesty, the illegal invaders, intruders, the invitees, they were invited over here by Obama and Joe Biden and the Democrats. If they let's say they became citizens, and it was guaranteed that they were 100% of them would vote Republican, guess what? This thing would be solved right now.
It would. It'd be shipped back home.
It'd be at the biggest exodus of immigrants out of here. Nancy Pelosi and Chucky Lucifer Schumer and the rest of them.
These words.
Barack, insane Osama, the whole Democrat Party and the ones in the Congress, they'd be like, get them the hell out of here. We don't need them. They're not voting for us. Are you kidding me? You talking about deportation, safety? You would need all these other methods and the law enforcement to get them out.
Yeah,
they'll send them out. They will get them out quick. So these Republicans need to say that, and they need to come on strong and not give in to these Democrats, these dirty Devilcrats. You know what I'm saying? And I'm gonna say another thing.
Go ahead, real quick.
Right now, about high gas prices.
Mm-hmm.
High gas prices. These same dirty Devilcrats loved high gas prices when their boy dried up Joe Biden was in control of this country. Him and Scamala Harris. They never said one thing about high food prices, high anything. Trump gets in office, all of a sudden they're concerned about tariffs.
Yeah.
It's going to make things higher. It's going to raise the price of everything. These local news people, these national news anchors, 6-figure paid liars that they are, or 7-figure in some cases. They never said nothing about high prices, including, guess who never else didn't say nothing about high prices? My brother-in-law, who's a Democrat, my sister-in-laws, my in-laws, my outlaws.
Hey, Walter, we got to go to break, but you got to give Dennis your closing. Don't shut me down. No, go ahead. Give him your closing, man.
Don't shut me down. Don't shout me down. Don't turn me down or tone me down. For the voice of
of opposition has arisen again.
Walter, I'll be up there in April, at the end of April. Hope to see you, man.
Get back with you, man. I wish I could have finished my point of all these Democrats, man, but, man, you'd have got me started.
All right, wait, I'm going to put you on hold then. Hold on, I'm going to put you on hold. Ron from the South Side, what's up, brother?
Hey, man, look here, because I got to get your cell number, because when I had wanted to reach out to you when you were involved in that car accident, so I need to get that information.
Paul, when Ron hangs up, give him my cell. All right, he said, okay, go ahead.
Yeah, but, I agree with you 100%. I do not want children that did not break a law. It was the law at the time. So we need to change the law moving forward.
Yes.
But I'm like you. I consider but I don't get into, I'm liberal, I'm conservative.
Yeah.
I'm compassionate. I want to follow the laws and the Constitution, but I'm very compassionate and particularly about children and family. So, and you can write it down this date. That law is not the Supreme Court. If you are listening to it, they are not going to change that.
Yeah.
Oh, they
I agree. Dennis and I said that. You think it's going to be 9-0. Ron, we got to go. I'm going to put you on hold, okay, Ron. I'm going to put you on hold so Paul can give you my number. Guys, hold the line. You're listening to Black and Right. We'll be right back.
Your home is a valuable asset, and you want to take care of your home. From roofs, siding, windows, and doors to furnaces, flooring, landscaping, and much more. Listen to your go-to for all things home. It's Home Answers Radio every Sunday morning at 9. Sponsored in part by JeffBuysYourHouse.com and by Center Guard Plumbing. Get answers from industry experts so you can make informed decisions about your home improvement. Right here on AM 560, The Answer.
Fox News, I'm Angelo Bavaro. Still no sign of a missing crew member after 2 U.S. military planes were downed over the Middle East.
The pilot has been rescued. The weapons systems officer on that fighter is still missing. The mission to rescue the pilot came under enemy fire. 2 helicopters were damaged and some crew were injured, but they landed safely. An A-10 Warthog was hit and crashed near the Strait of Hormuz.
Fox's Mike Tobin. ICE arresting the niece and the grandniece of deceased Iranian General Qasem Soleimani, who were stripped of their U.S. residency.
Secretary Rubio releasing a statement on X. It reads in part, Afshar is the niece of deceased Iranian Major General Qasem Soleimani. She's also an outspoken supporter of the Iranian regime who celebrated attacks on Americans and referred to our country as the Great Satan.
That is Fox's Marion Rafferty reporting. America is listening to Fox News.
Hey, sorry to hear your mom passed away.
Thanks.
A lot of work to do settling her assets?
Actually, she prepared a living trust. Makes this process simple.
Yeah, I set up a will for my kids. Should make it easy.
Well, unless your assets are small, your kids will have to go to court to settle your will.
So, where do I get a living trust?
Nauman and Associates. They prepare wills and trusts for a flat fee. No surprises.
Nauman and Associates in Elk Grove Village?
That's right. NALawGroup.com. Call 847-593-8777.
I remember sitting in the kitchen, heartbroken, overwhelmed, staring at costs and a list of decisions. I prayed for strength and reached out to Catholic Cemeteries of Chicago, only to hear that Mom had already pre-planned everything so my siblings and I would be protected. Because she planned ahead, we weren't pulled apart by heartbreaking decisions.
Visit CatholicCemeteriesChicago.org or call 708-236-5407 to schedule a free consultation.
What are you doing?
I'm setting up the Art of Options sectional.
That's a popular pick at Penny Mustard.
But why is it so long?
I wanted to create the world's longest sectional that wraps around the entire showroom.
Well, the Art of Options is powered by a rechargeable battery, so it can literally go anywhere.
So what are you going to build next?
The world's longest coffee table.
The Art of Options reclining sectional starting at $92.65 at Penny Mustard.
6 Chicagoland showrooms.
PennyMustard.com.
Better versions of what people want.
This is Sean Thompson. One of the things I remember about spring is listening to my grandfather walk around and say, opening day. It's just around the corner. He used to think those were the 2 sweetest words you could say during springtime because he was a big baseball fan. And for most people, that's the case. It's one of the greatest American traditions each spring. But there's another great American tradition that isn't far off, and that's called Tax Day. Well, opening day and tax day show up around the same time each year. We don't look at them in the same way. Well, you're optimistic about your favorite team. When's the last time you felt optimistic about stroking a big check to Uncle Sam? It doesn't have to be that way, and all you have to do is call Tom Fortino, the people at Alpha Wealth Group, who believe that baseball is a seasonal game, but tax planning goes on year-round. So if you don't want to write a big check in your retirement, and you don't want to have your Social Security or Medicare premiums affected by it, call Tom Fortino and the people at Alpha Wealth Group for their complimentary retirement roadmap. Call them at 630-864-6711. That number again is 630-864-6711 or online at alphawealthgroup.com.
I'm attorney Stephen Leahy. If you're a business owner with unfiled tax returns, tax season is not your friend. This is when the IRS turns up the heat. They match 1099s. They review payroll filings. They compare bank deposits. And when returns are missing, they don't send you a warning. They take action. Penalties stack up fast. Liens become public. Bank levies can drain your account. I see it every year. Good business owners who waited too long. Not because they're crooks, but because they were overwhelmed. Let me be clear. Hiding makes it worse. Action makes it fixable. I help business owners get compliant, file what's missing, and negotiate from a position of strength, not fear. Don't wait for the next certified letter. Don't wait for a levy. Go to fightbacknow.com and sign up for my daily email. I'll tell you exactly what to do next, step by step. Or call me right now at 312-664-6649. Act now before the IRS acts first.
The Danielle Gill Podcast, now available on the Salem Podcast Network.
Actually lowering prices has rarely ever been an accomplishment a Democrat could even claim. The Democrat modus operandi is to use each crisis as an excuse to pass legislation which increases spending, gives more power to the government, and which will make new crises which they can't then use as an excuse to pass more horrible legislation.
Subscribe for free today on Spotify, Apple, YouTube, or at SalemPodcastNetwork.com. It's the show the mainstream media doesn't want you to know about. It's Black and Right with John Anthony.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to Black and Right Radio with John Anthony. I am your co-host, Dennis Reboletti, better known as the prosecutor on these airwaves. John is very busy doing whatever John is doing right now, so he asked me to bring us back. I don't have the ability to look at the call board right now. I do know it's blowing up there, so please keep calling in. Robert, are you still there?
Hey, Dennis, how you doing today?
Good. How are you, sir?
Good. Like I said last week, retired and glad of it. What far away from that place? How about yourself?
You know, I'm doing very well. It's nice to come out and get a chance to talk to the people. One of the things I've always enjoyed in my life in public service. So what's your question or your point for today, my friend?
Well, here's my question today. You know, what's taking the Congress, in your personal opinion, and the Supreme Court? This is a no-brainer. Citizenship ID, voter ID. This should be done by the Congress, done by the Supreme Court with no questions. Let's get this thing done with, move on and win this war in Iran and get that pilot out of there. That's what I'm worried about.
Well, I appreciate it, Robert, that you said about the pilot. We're all praying for him, his family. Yeah. We're praying for the operators that are in there trying to rescue him. Nothing is very common as far as common sense is concerned in Washington. You heard Meryl Streep, who hasn't had a movie in about 40 years, talk to us about how married women can't register to vote and how they'll be denied voting privileges. I mean, the insanity continues forward. What makes a lot of sense never does. John was talking to me at the break about he doesn't understand why this immigration stuff hasn't been solved. Well, I don't know. It hasn't been solved forever. So trying to put it in a few people's hands isn't going to change anything. So what makes common sense to us, Robert, and to the people listening isn't so common when it comes out into Springfield or in D.C. or any other state capital. I would hope that things are easier, but they're not.
Well, we also
thank you.
We also said that it's become a third rail, and it's also chaos. It becomes an issue to use during campaigns.
Right. So Trump runs on immigration. and shutting the border down, so he's not going to do anything with DACA, which is what you and I were talking about.
Yeah.
So he can't grab that third rail, and then everybody will harken back again to Reagan giving amnesty.
Well, hold on, though.
But
Trump is accustomed to grabbing the third rail, though.
Well, that's what I'm saying. If you look, he's grabbed a lot of third rails.
Yeah.
He grabbed Venezuela, Iran. He's got Cuba. He's got the conversion therapy ruling that just came out. He's got this immigration. So and now he's into, we haven't even talked about this. This time goes by so fast. He just did an executive order on Friday to fix all of the college basketball and all the sports transfer portals. I mean, this guy, you can't keep up.
Yeah, we talked about it earlier. He's 80 years old. He has no, what those to give anymore, and he's not beholden anymore. Who's he responsible to right now? Trump is going to. I think when some of the things he's getting ready to do, buckle up, Buttercup.
That's right. If he wants to fix all the things that every other president and Congress has talked about
and kick down the road,
and just said, "I'll wait for the next person to deal with it."
Yeah. Let's go to Mitchell. Des Plaines. Des Plaines is pretty popular today.
It is.
Go ahead, brother.
Hey, what's up, guys? I love when you guys are both on. First of all, I find this new component with the person, the pilots that got shot down, is going to add another layer in Iran. We're sending in ground troops. I like to bring back, during the Bay of Pigs, this is a historical fact. Kennedy double-crossed the Air Force. He was supposed to have 16 B-26s. He blew it down to 8, and he blew it off to 4. The father said, forget it, I'll deal with Castro himself. John Patterson, the governor of Alabama, was friends with Kennedy. When the few rare Southern governors that liked Kennedy, he gave him his Air National Guard. 2 pilots got shot down and died. Bobby Kennedy, the spoiled little brat that he is, tells the Pentagon, you better make damn sure those pilots are dead, quote unquote, because he didn't want to have the New York Times doing a full story on the fact that we were actually sending in air support to take out Castro.
Yeah.
So my point is that the dynamics are much different because Trump is so much more transparent. But it's going to escalate the timeline. Now, I thought his State of the Nation, Trump's State of the Nation was brilliant. However, the radical left says, well, where's the timeline? And I say Trump is predictably unpredictable.
Yeah.
Look at the maelstrom of events for firing Biden. By the way, Pam Bondi, when the last time we fired an AG? Was it Nixon, right? The Saturday Night Massacre counselor, right?
No, Trump
Sessions.
Trump fired Sessions. Because Sessions appointed a special prosecutor.
Yeah, I forgot about that one. It was easy. It was very forgettable. But
That's
you're right.
Milan's best friend, Sessions. He loves Sessions.
Oh my God! Talk about conflict. My point is that we don't buy 1 ounce of oil from. This is my bigger point, from Iran.
Yeah.
Trump said, "Listen, we got more oil to buy it from us."
It's all about Europe. Yeah.
Yeah, it is.
Yeah, it's all about Europe.
So let me ask you this: what timeline do you think it's obviously going to be extended? He said a few weeks. Does that few weeks turn into a few months?
Well, here's the difference. Wait, Mitchell. Here's the difference between Trump and any other president. He's not going to tell you. He's not going to choreograph his moves. That's the difference between Trump and previous presidents. He's not going to tell you. So
predictably unpredictable, Daddy-O.
That is.
Exactly it.
Thanks, Mitchell. Appreciate the call. Guys, I promise you, I'm trying to get to your calls. Dennis Revelletti blows up the phone lines again. You know what? I'm going to start calling you Blow Up Dennis. Blow Up Dennis, the prosecutor. We'll be right back.
The following advertisement includes a celebrity impersonation.
The summer heat in Chicagoland is no joke. And if your old air conditioner is making funny noises, you may already know it's time for a new unit.
Look, your air conditioner, it's a disaster. People are telling me it's the worst ever.
Don't sweat it, literally. When it comes to cooling your home, Air Right Heating and Cooling does it the best.
And they love our country. Beautiful people.
Rebates are still available, financing is flexible, and at Air Right installations are smooth and professional with no surprises.
It's beautiful. Some people say it's the coolest air anyone's ever felt. I don't know. That's just what they're saying. It's doing an incredible job. Really tremendous.
Plus, tell them AM 560 sent you and Air Right will give you $56 off any service. Visit Air Right Heating and Cooling today at AIR-RITE.com. Again, that's AIR-RITE.com. Air Right Heating and Cooling, doing it right since 1959.
What happens when a school is truly built around teenage girls? Their growth, their confidence, their faith, their future? You get bold young women who lead without hesitation, speak without fear, and discover exactly who they're meant to be. Rosary College Prep in Aurora is the only all-girls college prep high school in the western suburbs, and we've been doing this since 1962. We know how girls learn best. That's why our students thrive in STEM, the arts, and leadership at remarkable rates, even earning AP Platinum status from the College Board. At Rosary, your daughter won't just be educated. She'll be seen, challenged, and supported every single day. Girls here collaborate, inspire each other, and grow grounded in faith and driven by purpose. Come see it for yourself. Schedule a personal tour at rosaryprep.org. That's rosaryprep.org.
I didn't switch to Pure Talk just because I wanted to save 50% off the same 5G service I'd been paying twice as much for. I switched because I like the idea of being in business with a wireless company that supports our veterans in a meaningful way. Pure Talk also creates American jobs every day by keeping their entire operation in this country. I appreciate that. If you feel the same, dial pound 250, say Mike Rowe, and switch to an American wireless company that actually stands for something. Pure Talk.
I'm Boomer Esiason. My mom died from cancer. She was only 37 years old. She didn't have life insurance, and that was devastating for my family. That's why having life insurance is so important to me. Ethos makes it fast and easy. Get a quote in seconds, apply in minutes, and get same-day coverage. You can get up to $3 million in coverage with no medical exam.
Get your free quote at ethos.com/save. That's ethos.com/save. Paid spokesperson. Time spent on application may vary. Online health questions required.
This is Black and Right with John Anthony.
We assess this attack to be a Hezbollah-inspired act of terrorism, purposely targeting the Jewish community and the largest Jewish temple in Michigan. The FBI defines terrorism as a violent criminal act by an individual who is inspired by or associated with a designated foreign terrorist organization. We do not make this characterization lightly without a thorough review and keen evaluation of the facts. In this case, the evidence shows the attacker was motivated and inspired by Hezbollah's militant ideology. Although the assailants' attack planning and mobilization to violence began in earnest on March 9th, which I will fully
Oh, that was it?
That was it, John.
Yeah. I must not have sent the full clip, but they didn't mention if this individual was a illegal immigrant.
Why is that?
I don't know. That's a great question.
I would like to ask any of our listeners out in the Detroit area why they think that they didn't mention the background of the domestic terrorist.
Well, bring Walter on.
Hold on a second. Can we put Walter back on, please? Are you there, Walter?
Yeah, what's the question, brother?
So do you have a chance to hear that Hezbollah clip? Now that I've taken over the show, John said that I could.
I'm in the. He kicked me out of my seat. Actually.
Right. I told him he's running the show too slow. He's not going fast enough.
Glad to meet you, Dennis.
Glad to meet you too. So we held you over, but we played the Hezbollah clip about the domestic terrorism on the largest Jewish temple. Did you have any thoughts on that? Why they're not talking about the background of the suspect?
I got another way. I'm gonna twist this thing around. Don't shout me down on this one, y'all. I'm gonna get shot about if we got some Jewish people listening. These same Jewish people that we defending right here on the shores of America. We talking about somebody talking in their temples and all that, the Jewish synagogues and all that. Why in the hell these Jewish people still voting Democrat? Huh? Nobody want to ask that question. What is it? 80% of them? Has it gone down since they were attacked October 3rd or something like that a couple of years ago?
October 7th.
Still voting Democrat? You invite this kind of crap if you keep voting Democrat. I ain't gonna show no grace. I'll show grace, mercy toward the Jewish people in general. But how many of them are still voting Democrats? Like in New York, we got a big population here in Southfield, Michigan. I see them all the time.
That's where the attack happened, right?
What's that?
Is that where the attack happened? The big temple, the big Jewish temple in.
I think that's in. No, that's more like That's in a real nice looking area, Bloomfield.
Oh yeah. Okay.
The temp. How many of them still vote Democrat? Just like we got a lot of people from India here. You see them in Canton, places like that, Canton, Michigan. I talk to them all the time at Walmart. They've taken over Walmart. People from India, they vote Democrat. They can't stand Kash Patel, by the way.
No, they hate him.
They all got the same names too. Patel, Raj, Mahindra.
Well,
so back to that's the way I answered that question on my Jewish. In fact, right to this very day, we talk about Easter, the resurrection of Christ, the death, burial, resurrection of Christ. We got a lot of Jesus hating Jews right now on this holiday. We got Messianic Jews. We got to distinguish between the Messianic Jews and the Orthodox Jews. They can't be still looking for Jesus to come. If Jesus is around today, they're still
looking for their Messiah. You mean?
Yeah. So they still vote Democrat. When the hell they vote Democrat after they got over 2,000 of them got murdered and slaughtered by
Walter, I have to tell you, I hope that different demographic groups begin to move to the Republican Party when they see that their own party has abandoned them with no problem whatsoever and is complaining about attacks on Iran, who has killed Americans for almost 50 years plus. So I appreciate you holding on.
Hey, wait, before you go, Walter, I'm going to tell you, when I went to Israel, the Jewish people in Israel and Tel Aviv and Jerusalem and the Hebron, however they say it, dude, they got Trump signs all over there. They absolutely love President Trump. And I'm sure if they were here, they'd vote for Republicans.
What about the Jews here? Do they have Trump signs?
Yeah, a lot of them do.
I got a couple of Trump.
Wait, Walter, I'm a part of a bunch of different what is it called? WhatsApp chains on with a lot of Jewish people, and I'm telling you, they are trying to fight and push back against what you're talking about right now, getting people to not so much vote Republican, but vote for the person who has a lot of their interests. When you look at a Democrat, I don't think the Democrat Party, BDS, what is it called, Dennis? What's her name? Ilhan Omar, BDS or? Yeah. So when you look at her, even Chuck Schumer, who's Jewish, and yet he plays that fine line because he's afraid of AOC.
Half of the Democratic primary voters don't agree with the direction of their own party. Don't. So this is where people are lost, and Republicans need to give them the off-ramp, and hopefully they'll be there in November. Otherwise, it could be a lot of problems. But, Walter, thank you for hanging on. Let me move along here to one of the sponsors of the show, okay. Jim from South Elgin. How are you, Jim?
Yep. Well, Jim, we'll have to get him after the break. We got 50 seconds left.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
There you go. I heard the sound. It's in Colville, that's 7.
He's live from where are you at now?
I'm in Cortez in Honduras, the northern range of Honduras.
There we go. How are you doing, my friend?
But
hey, Jim, before you get into your point, we got about 28 seconds left, so we're gonna put you on hold, and then when we come back from break, we'll take your call. But, Walter has wayward words, doesn't he?
Yes, he does. You are listening to Black and White Radio with John Anthony, and co-hosting today, Dennis Rebeletti. We'll be right back.
And Dennis has kicked me to the curb.
Only till 6 o'clock.
For 25 years, Applied Mechanical Sales has kept Chicago's commercial buildings warm and running smoothly. From schools and churches to high-rises and hotels, they provide the boilers, water heaters, and exhaust systems that contractors and engineers count on. Whether it's a replacement project or a new construction, Applied Mechanical helps you select the right equipment, standard or high efficiency, for your specific application. What sets them apart? They match the right Camas equipment to your building's exact needs, so it performs flawlessly through Chicago winters for the next 15 to 20 years. And they don't disappear after installation. Applied Mechanical ensures your systems run at peak efficiency year after year. Are you a degreed mechanical engineer looking to lead a growing sales team? They'd love to talk to you. Schedule a site visit and boiler assessment at appliedmechanicalsales.com. That's appliedmechanicalsales.com.
Platform safety is critical at your commercial and industrial facility. Keeping people safe and meeting OSHA requirements isn't optional. That's why Vans Industrial offers free platform inspections by professional structural engineers who know exactly what to look for. Problems with platforms, ladders, or stairs can lead to costly fines or worse. Vans Industrial helps you meet OSHA standards to protect people in your facility.
Hi, I'm Dave Van Camp, president of Vans Industrial. With decades of experience, I bring long-standing industry knowledge from inspecting, correcting, and replacing countless platforms to make facilities safer. Vans Industrial is a specialty contractor equipped to modify or replace steel catwalks, handrails, stairways, and ladders. Our union building trades professionals fabricate and install high-quality steel systems that create safer work environments.
Call 833-VANS-IND for a free platform inspection by professional structural engineers. See what else we can do for you. Visit vansindustrial.com. That's VANS Industrial.com.
And now, more Black and Right with John Anthony.
Welcome back to Black and Right Radio. John Anthony is going to take this segment off, he told me, so he's going to take a paid union break. We're going to go back to Jim from South Elgin, who's actually in Honduras. Jim, welcome back to the show. How's it going down there?
Well, thank you, sir. It's hot. It's the Semana Santa this week, so there's a lot of people here on the beach. It's crowded and things, but everybody's in good spirits, and it's good. But anyways, as far as this thing with the birthright citizenship, people have to understand, years ago, they didn't have airplanes and the ability to bring people over like they do now. That's been part of the problem. Before, it was people, it took forever to get here. And now with airplanes, like you're talking about these trips that people are taking in droves, that's because the ability to travel is what it is today versus what law was made.
Well,
and also, I think I would agree a little bit with John as far as DACA kids. Plus there was another group of people called TPS, Temporary Protected Status, people from Honduras and other countries when Hurricane Mitch came and devastated parts of Honduras and these Central American countries. A lot of people over there, visiting, so they gave them the ability to extend their tourist visas without being in violation. Of course, it goes on perpetually, and so in some cases we're here like 20-some years. Those people are better citizens than a lot of American citizens. Those people should also be given a path to green card status, maybe citizenship later, in my opinion.
Well, Jim, I appreciate that. Thank you for calling in. I know you and I had a chance to chat earlier. Was it last week, right? So it was good to see you in person. Enjoy your travels, and we'll see you back in the mainland when you're back. We'll look forward to seeing you. So thanks for calling in, my friend.
Next week.
All right. We'll see you. And we're going to go over to Eduardo from Tampa Bay. How are you, Eduardo?
Yeah, good afternoon, Dennis, and your Temple Terrace sidekick, John, over there.
Right. I don't know what he's doing, but he's enjoying himself, taking a break. So what's on your mind?
Dennis, let me go through 3 points here. I saw that some nieces from an Iran general were caught by ICE, so that's a good bargaining chip. Maybe that'll come in handy. So much for gun control. In Louisiana, 13 people got run over by a car. And what's another thing here? Well, on this Supreme Court on the birthright, I don't think they're going to rule in favor of the president. There's a lot of that Trump derangement syndrome, and they want this stuff going through Congress. They don't like these executive actions. So I wish it was otherwise, but I'm afraid that's how it's going to go. I hope I'm wrong, but we'll see what happens.
I'm with you. I've told John I believe it's going to be 9-0. I don't think that the Trump executive order is going to stand. That's just from a legal perspective, and I think that at some point they're going to have to revisit it statutorily because now it's just become commonplace to accept it. So, but we do appreciate you calling in. I promise, John.
Thank you very much. Happy Easter, everyone.
Happy Easter to you. I promise, John, I'm going to clear the lines.
Well, hold on. Before, no. You just can't say that about me.
You told me you were taking a segment off.
I know, but when I heard that 9-0, I don't think so. I don't think Thomas, Gorsuch, and Alito. Based upon what I heard from them, based upon what I heard from them, I don't think. And I'm going to play that.
Gorsuch, okay.
Yeah,
you're wrong.
I'm sorry. I'll be quiet.
No, you're back in. So, Dan, you're still on. Let's get you. Let's finish up with you, my friend.
Yeah, hi guys.
Hey, Dan.
You guys are Anthony and Dennis. You guys were talking about what all started this acceptance of illegal aliens and becoming a common thing for us to accept.
I think it stemmed from where it began was with Daley, not Richard Daley, the son. Because remember when they had those immigration rallies in Chicago?
Yeah.
Daley was out there advocating for him.
You got about 10 seconds. We have to go to a hard break, and I'm going to have to say goodbye to our Detroit friends.
Just hold him on the line. Hold him, Paul.
Hold you, Dan. But thank you to our Detroit friends. John, thank you for having me. I'm going to head home here. My session's done, but thank you for having me on, and happy Easter to everybody. You're listening to Black and White Radio with John Anthony, and I appreciate everybody listening.
He is risen.
President Trump has triggered a $200 billion tech disruption, and Wall Street is asleep at the switch. This $200 billion investment in chip technology could make today's artificial intelligence chips obsolete. Technology that will make today's AI data centers a thing of the past, like IBM's old mainframes. While most investors are focused on old-fashioned AI, there are 3 companies quietly building a $1 trillion triangle that could transform every tech sector on Earth. These 3 companies are gearing up to develop and manufacture supercomputers the size of a dinner plate. Institutions like Vanguard, BlackRock, and State Street are pouring more than $200 billion into this AI revolution. Investment guru George Gilder has been predicting tech revolutions for more than 40 years, including the iPhone, Netflix, and Amazon. Now he's got his finger on 3 companies whose technology will change tech forever. Log on to TrillionDollarTriangle.com to find out which 3 companies are working on what could be the biggest tech disruption since the internet. TrillionDollarTriangle.com. That's TrillionDollarTriangle.com.
News, opinion, insight. This is AM 560, The Answer. WIND, Chicago. Streaming at 560theanswer.com on the AM 560 mobile app, or tell your smart speaker to play The Answer.
Escalation in the Middle East. I'm Angelo Bavaro, Fox News. In a new post on Truth Social, President Trump says multiple Iranian military leaders were, quote, terminated in a strike on Tehran. This as the search continues for a missing crew member after a U.S. fighter jet was shot down over Iran on Friday.
Today, the war enters its 6th week. President Trump warned Iran today about his approaching April 6th deadline to open up the Strait of Hormuz. And Senator Lindsey Graham says that he spoke with the president today, writing, quote, I'm completely convinced that he will use overwhelming military force against the regime if they continue to impede the Strait of Hormuz and refuse a diplomatic solution to achieve our military objectives. Now, in terms of what we are hearing from the president, we know he is here today at the White House. But when he was asked about whether or not this service member would impact potential negotiations with Iran, the president said it would not.
That is Fox's Alex Hogan. A Democratic candidate for Senate in Michigan is facing calls to drop out of that race after comments he made about Iran.
Critics say Abdul al-Sayed appeared disheartened over the death of Iran's supreme leader in this leaked audio.
There are a lot of people in Dearborn who are sad today. So, I just don't want to comment on Khamenei.
El-Sayed blasted the Washington Free Beacon, which obtained the recording, calling it a, quote, distraction. Michigan Republicans, including former Congressman Mike Rogers, who's also running for Senate, call al-Sayed's comments disqualifying. El-Sayed is facing some backlash from within his party amid plans next week to campaign with far-left internet streamer Hassan Piker, dubbed by some as the Joe Rogan of the left. El-Sayed told Fox he's willing to engage with anyone. But El-Sayed's Democratic opponents, including State Senator Mallory McMorrow, say Piker should stay out of the race.
Fox's Mark Meredith. America is listening to Fox News.
Now, your official weather forecast.
Tonight will be mostly cloudy with a low of 36. Sunday will be breezy with a mix of clouds and sunshine, reaching a high of 55. Sunday night will be partly cloudy with a chance of a late shower and a low of 39. Monday will continue to be breezy with intervals of clouds and sunshine with a high of 50. I'm meteorologist Jason Caterina on AM 560, The Answer.
Get the latest weather, traffic, and news updates online at 560theanswer.com.
Gold and silver recently soared to record highs, then pulled back. So are precious metals still a good buy? Many Wall Street experts predict higher prices ahead. Why? Because we still have trillions in national debt, a declining dollar, and inflation that keeps shrinking our savings. Even with corrections along the way, gold remains a historical hedge for wealth protection. That's why Morgan Stanley's chief investment officer ditched the 60-40 stock and bonds portfolio and recommended up to 20% in precious metals. They're getting educated, and you should too. Call Lear Capital at 800-992-2255 for your free gold investment kit and learn how you could qualify for up to $20,000 in bonus gold. Lear Capital has over $3 billion in transactions and thousands of 5-star reviews. Call 800-992-2255. That's 800-992-2255 or visit LearAlex.com.
Here's a tale of Tina searching up and down for decent GLP-1s, but got spun around.
Till GoodRx wrote in, hey, we got something new. GLP-1 prescriptions, all FDA approved.
Brand name meds, no flags that are red.
Clear pricing from the start. None of those hidden fees in your cart.
Delivered to your door or pick up same day. Darn tootin'.
Save time and money on prescriptions.
Hot foot it to goodrx.com/weight loss. GoodRx is not insurance.
I didn't switch to Pure Talk just because I wanted to save 50% off the same 5G service I'd been paying twice as much for. I switched because I like the idea of being in business with a wireless company that supports our veterans in a meaningful way. Pure Talk also creates American jobs every day by keeping their entire operation in this country. I appreciate that. If you feel the same, dial pound 250, say Mike Rowe, and switch to an American wireless company that actually stands for something. Pure Talk.
Do you use a Link EBT card to buy food? Please listen carefully. Rules for SNAP eligibility have changed. You could lose your benefits if you don't act soon. Visit SaveOurSNAP.org to learn about new rules, how they impact your household, and the steps you need to take to keep your food benefits. Don't wait. Go to SaveOurSNAP.org today. Sponsored by the Illinois Commission to End Hunger. Aired in cooperation with the Illinois Broadcasters Association and this station.
Portions of the following show may be pre-recorded.
AM 560, The Answer. Prepare to have your mind opened. The lies of the mainstream media are about to be exposed, and the hypocrisy of the left is about to be revealed. This is a revolution in how you think about politics, race, and culture. You've tuned into Black and Right with John Anthony.
I'm coming in hot. Yeah, coming in hot, just like the fajita. I write what I live, my life in the speaker. I'm nice with the flow.
Welcome back. Hour 3 of Black and Right Radio on AM 560 The Answer. If you missed those first 2 hours, head over to 560theanswer.com, download the podcast. You can listen to the show no matter where you are. All right, before I go back to Dan, Brian Gallimore, please deport everybody who does not have at least one American citizen parent. To hell with your fake and selective so-called compassion. If you know me, you know I don't have fake and selective compassion. You talk to anybody about me as it relates to compassion. I am that guy. So move along with that. Dan, Salem, Wisconsin.
John, thank you for holding me over. I won't be too long because I know you got a lot of listeners. But I was going to say, bringing up to where I left off was that Daley was out there at the rallies in Chicago. I don't remember what year it was, but he was the mayor. And he was advocating for these people that are here illegally. Yeah. And I could still almost hear all the Democrats, what they were all saying. Oh, well, who's going to clean your hotel rooms if you deport these people? Who's going to take care of your children? Who's going to nanny your children? Who's going to pick your tomatoes? You're going to be paying $10 a pound for tomatoes if you send these people back. I can still hear it over and over and over again. That was their ploy they were using.
Yeah. Wasn't there a current congresswoman that said something similar to that? Was it Jasmine Crockett? Well, who wasn't there? There was a recently, about at least a year or two ago, who made that exact same argument.
She did say that. We ain't going back out the fields. We ain't picking no tomatoes.
Exactly.
We know we're done with that.
Exactly. I remember this.
We ain't picking no more.
I remember this.
Anyway, I remember. Yeah, that. But anyway, I want to say this too, John, before I hang up. All your listeners, please pick up the Bible at Romans chapter 13, starting at verse 1. And these Democrats are not fighting against Trump. They're fighting against God. As it says in Romans chapter 1, I'll just read the first two.
Go ahead.
Let every soul be subject to the governing authorities, for there is no authority except from God. And and the authorities that exist are appointed by God.
Yeah.
Therefore, whoever resists the authorities resists the ordinance of God. And those who resist will bring judgment on themselves. And then it goes on further into it. But I wanted to bore you and your listeners, not bore you, but, just hold up the line. Read Romans chapter 13, verse 1 down.
Yeah. Thanks, Dan, from Salem, Wisconsin. Appreciate the call, brother.
My friend.
All right, have a good one. Let's go to Greg from LaGrange. Hey, what's up, Greg?
Hey, how you doing?
I'm doing well, man.
Happy Easter to you and your family.
Thank you, sir.
The entire Black and White family, and Ann Berline and everybody there. Love you guys.
Thank you, brother. Appreciate it.
Well, I want to say a couple things. I think the Iran war is kind of a sticky widget for the president right now. The thing that we don't have is we don't have sledgehammers on the Republican side going out here and hammering points home.
Preach,
about how bad the Undermine America Party is. And I will tell you that if we had somebody that would sledgehammer them every day, and Jim Jordan's, where are these? Where are our leaders in our party fighting back?
Yeah. Pointing
out the destruction of the cities and child education and the gender mutilation that they want to promote, and the illegal alien problem that they basically invited up here. We would be winning this thing, even in spite of this, I believe.
Yep.
I do believe that the President Trump is going to have to do something to get those straits open. It may take ground troops, but he has to do it, and he has to do it fast.
Yeah.
And one other thing I want to say, and I found out about it today when I was just trying to do a simple repair job on windshield wipers. We don't build anything of quality here. Our parts system, our quality assurance systems for things is absolutely terrible. We're taking pride in putting out the cheapest products, driving up revenues for businesses and showing great stock profits, but we're building crap.
Yeah.
There's no pride in what we do anymore in America. I see it not only in what we make, but also in our attitudes. Half the country hates us.
Yeah.
They hate God. They hate family. Yep. They hate law enforcement. They hate the opportunity to move forward. Last thing, real quick. It's funny when the man from Salem, Dave, right? He mentioned about Daley talking about, how he's compassionate for all the people coming here that have skirted by the rules. There are rules that they could have followed. But when they say, who's going to do this and who's going to do that and who's going to do this, not one of their concerns is about their well-being. It's all about what they can do for us at the expense of us.
Yeah.
They don't care about the human being, and that should be pointed out, too. God bless you guys.
Thank you, Greg. I really appreciate that call. I really, really, really do. And listen, dude, there's so many complicated issues. And I think a lot of it has been complicated by, I think it was Jacqueline Garrison who made a post about how we don't have these conversations anymore. We're not willing to have, and if you know me, if you've been listening to this show for the past 7 years, you know that's the one thing that I have been harping on since I started this show. Let's have those conversations, those uncomfortable conversations that you don't want to have. Now, I don't get into the messiness. I don't get into the personality. People want to fight each other. Go ahead. And one of the things that I always say, you're not dragging me into your fights. I don't get involved in those fights that are out there. I'm just going to come on this show and present policy and present and show the hypocrisy of what's happening in our world. And that's one of the reasons why I love this. Her name is Brianna. She's on, I thought I put her full name, Brianna Riddick, I think her name is. She's on Instagram. And I love her. Oh, and I'll take your calls after this audio. But I love this woman. Listen to what she had to say.
How are you a black conservative? How are you a black Democrat? You mean the same party you say has been helping you for decades, but your communities look worse, not better? You mean the same party that started the Ku Klux Klan and somehow convinced you they're your savior? You mean the same political machine where LBJ, after signing the Civil Rights Act, said they're going to keep these generations? 62 years later, and you're still predictable. They dangled a black male president in front of you that did nothing for black people and everything for gay people, and a black female president that advertised to you with white people tacos and Megan Thee Stallion twerking on stage. And you never stopped to question that? They told you they were fighting poverty, but really they went and knocked on the doors of black families and told them that if they got rid of the man in the household, they could have this money and what we now know as the welfare system. They strategically demolished the nuclear family, leaving over half of the mothers in our community single mothers for generations. Policies that incentivize broken homes, dependency instead of independence, they made it so you systematically rely on them, and now over half of the black households are dependent on the government. And they tell you crime is someone else's fault, while your neighborhoods keep getting worse in the very cities that they run. They build organizations, collect millions of donations, and somehow your community is still struggling while that money goes to $1 million homes, DoorDash, and new cars. And now they've got you fighting for illegal immigrants that take your jobs and have been killing your people, and they still give you nothing. So let me ask you again, how are you a black Democrat?
I mean, she just laid out all of those issues. Dude, there's so much more to fight against when you look at, and I'm not even going to say fight against the Democrat Party. Fight against these leftists who are literally trying to destroy this country. That's why today I fully endorse the Bailey ticket. There's no way I'm not going to get behind the Bailey Delmar ticket. Because what's the alternative? Pritzker? Pritzker is the alternative. We don't get, I don't know, a lot of people saying go out and vote for Pierce. No, he has no chance in hell. No chance. At least Darren Bailey gives us an opportunity. Carrie, Crown Point.
I'm telling you, John, American exceptionalism is not being taught in the classroom. Multiculturalism, putting all these other world cultures on the same level, is completely destroying our base, and kids are not informed, and they grow up into the Democrat voters we have today.
Yeah, I agree.
And literally, and one more point, literally, India, the original people from India are in the very south. They were taken over. Iran, Persians were not from the area of Iran. The Turks were not from Turkey. England, they were not. The English were from Germany. Our country is being taken over by other cultures, and it's being destroyed one place after another.
It is.
We love other cultures, but they're being used to break us apart.
Yeah, I agree. Thanks so much, Carrie. I appreciate that call. I really do. We got leaders. I don't have time to play it. When we come back from break, I'm going to play it because I listened to this audio of Brandon Johnson. And what he just recently said, he was out taking questions. He was outside taking questions from reporters. And what he said, and I'm like, dude, you are the mayor of the citizens of Chicago. Why say something like this? He didn't get a majority of the vote. I mean, there were, 300 some thousand people that voted to make him mayor? We got more fights to fight. We'll be back.
Make sure that you never miss a day of Chicago's Morning Answer with Dan Proft when you subscribe to the Chicago's Morning Answer podcast, presented by Signature Bank. Listen to the entire show each day on demand with limited commercial breaks. You can subscribe today for free at 560theanswer.com and click on podcasts or search for Chicago's Morning Answer on Apple, Spotify, or wherever you listen to podcasts.
Hi, I'm Ken Mariotti, owner of Woodland Windows and Doors, a third-generation family-owned business since 1969. We know you're bombarded by choices when shopping for new windows or doors, so we're inviting you to experience the Woodland difference. For decades, we have been transforming living spaces with Marvin Windows, a fifth-generation family business. Marvin replacement windows have been known to increase the warmth of your cold rooms by 10 degrees. Think about that, 10 degrees warmer. When you welcome Woodland into your home, you will get a product expert to transform your living spaces, full-time, dedicated professional installers that you can trust in your home, along with the best products like Marvin. These are the reasons we're proud of our 5-star reviews and family legacy. No gimmicks, no pressure, and upfront pricing are why Woodland Windows and Doors is your trusted window and door expert in Chicagoland. Visit woodlandwindows.com to book your free in-home expert consultation. That's woodlandwindows.com, or stop by our showroom at the corner of Lake and Geary in Roselle.
You need a construction company, but who?
Paul Preston.
Croscom. A construction company you can trust that shares your Christian and conservative values. For decades, Croscom has been doing work in Chicagoland, Northwest Indiana, and Wisconsin. Roofs, siding, windows, doors, gutters, basically everything for your home or business, even solar. Quality work and professional services that make you feel great about your decision to work with Croscom.
Call Croscom.
630-871-5500. Give them a chance to earn your business. If your repairs are due to storm, fire, or flood damage, you need to
call Croscom.
They're licensed public adjusters. They work for you, not the insurance company. Croscom will work to get you the money you deserve, the maximum payout. They know the insurance companies and how to deal with them. They win for you.
Call Croscom.
Croscom Construction and Public Adjusters.
This is Dan Lights with Croscom. You can trust us with your home or business for high-quality work and fair prices. It's the only way we do business.
630-871-5500. CroscomPublicAdjusters.com.
Your financial future deserves more than just a financial strategy. It deserves a dedicated resource. Meet Michelle Shute with West Point Financial Group, a Mass Mutual firm. With almost 2 decades of experience, Michelle builds lifelong relationships, guiding families through legacy strategies from grandparents down to grandkids, helping people secure their financial independence. Michelle Shute is focused on needs, not just numbers, and that means retirement planning, life insurance, and estate planning strategies. Whether preparing for college, retirement, or protecting your business, Michelle's needs-based approach helps you prepare for life's biggest moments. Start building your financial future today. Call Michelle at 224-499-3665. That's 224-499-3665. Michelle Shute of West Point Financial Group, helping you earn, learn, and secure your tomorrow. Local firms or sales offices of Massachusetts Mutual Life Insurance Company. Mass Mutual, Springfield, Massachusetts, 01111-001, and are not subsidiaries of Mass Mutual or its affiliated companies. Michelle Shute is a registered representative of and offers securities through MML Investor Services, LLC, member SIPC. Supervisory office located at 30 South Wacker Drive, Suite 2700, Chicago, Illinois, 60606.
Black and Right continues. Once again, here's John Anthony.
Welcome back. Blake Moore, nice of you to join us. Senor, what the heck, man? Out. You can't go out when Black and Right is on. Blake Moore, what the heck is wrong with you? Nick from the Northwest Side, what's up, brother?
Well, thank you. You have a great show as always. It was nice to hear Rivoletti. I like that name. But anyway, it's like I feel like I'm speaking Italian. Hey, what's the matter?
Hey,
hey, you do quite well. That's very nice. Yeah, I want to say about why we are there involved with Iran, with Israel. Again, I will say some people have heard me talking about this a few times, but it bears repeating. The Iranian government now, maybe not quite so much, but before, consistently for 47 years, has had two chants. Israel is a little Satan, death to Israel. Mm-hmm. America is a big Satan, death to America. They don't say that they understand that America is what we call a democracy and what we think is a better government than theirs, and will respect your right to, support it. No, they say outright death to America. Now, what's it take to figure out that all these years, decades, and all the people that they've killed with car bombs and truck bombs directly connected to the Iranian extremists? What is these people's problem that they can't understand it? That they disagree with it, and if they legitimately understand what I just said, but they just disagree with our involvement so heavily. But you can't stop these people any other way but with a heavy involvement. And that's all I would like to say.
Wait, Nick, before you hang up, as somebody, you're a resident of Chicago. As a resident of Chicago, I want to play something. I want to get your take on this.
The last I checked, we are not in competition with other people of color across this globe. The only people who want us to believe that we are in competition with one another are the same colonizers that pit us against one another. Why would I take the word of someone who hates us all to drive us apart? What sense does that make? And so I believe we can call for black liberation and reparations and not cause harm in this globe the way white supremacy has caused across this planet. And anybody that would fall victim to that type of ideology, well, then maybe you need a little healing yourself. And that's okay, because colonization is real. I think one revolutionary said that somebody would stab you in the back with a knife and pull it halfway out and call it progress.
I mean, that's your mayor. Nick?
Yeah, it sounds like him. Yeah, that's why I don't know what his rating is now with favorability. And it includes a third of people in Chicago being black, a third being brown, and the other third white. Many of them would vote Democratic instantly, especially if it's something against Trump. But yeah, I think he was at 6% at one time. I wouldn't be surprised if he's still hovering around there, But yeah, he's in a position where, unfortunately, certain people have to speak a certain line to keep their base supporting them, keep the base jumping up out of seats at a meeting and throwing their fists up in the air and yeah. If we had the same way of doing things with the Germans, the Italians, and the Japanese consistently to this day, and reminding them of World War II, Mussolini, Hitler, Tojo, if we kept doing that, those people eventually might even go back to war.
Yeah, but Nick, no. Here's the bigger hypocrisy in this. Imagine that was you as mayor saying that about black people. What do you think would happen to you?
I'd have to do like that guy that copped it down in Missouri and moved to another country where I could somehow hide, hopefully, and not be picked out there. And otherwise, I'm serious, because it would be that bad.
Yeah,
it would be there. You wouldn't be able to go out the door. Forget going out the door. Somebody firebombed the building that you live in. Unless it's a big high rise and you're living up near the top. And you got doorman with a gun down at the bottom, and even then they'd shoot the doorman and then go right in. I'm serious. It'll happen. And mark my words, some of these people who are on the radio live in a building with a doorman. They think it's great to have that. It's your first line defense. But anyhow, no, these extremists and radicals, we're in a slow motion civil war in America. Yeah. It's going on in Poland now too. Other countries, France and Germany are involved in it, where a lot of people feel very strongly one way, and a lot of people very strongly the other way, opposite of them. And eventually they're going to get to a point where the big rallies, and if you saw the amount of people came out supporting the current government of Iran, a picture of them in Tehran, and it was tons of people. Those people, if they're given guns by the Revolutionary Guard, and they're told go out there, that's and do what you got to do to these other people who stand in our way of our Allah and all that. It'll never end. We got to supply little caches of guns like the French resistance did in World War II. They were given guns, not a lot all at once, to one big group, a little bit here, a little bit there. So these individual people, if they were found out or caught, it will not destroy the rest of the organization. So listen, you tell me when you want me to hang up. Or you want to hang up.
No, thanks so much, Nick. I appreciate the call.
Thank you.
I'm going to tell you why he's doing it. He's doing it because, he got his hand caught in the cookie jar when it comes to the illegal immigrants, spending over $1 billion plus. So now he's got to play the black card to get his card back. That's one of the reasons why he's doing it. You're right, Senor. I did get him wound up. But that's just the reality of it. Ari Fleischer, he posted something that I thought was very important. He says, when this is over, the western part of NATO will never be the same. Spain, England, France, and he's talking about the attacks on Iran from Israel and the United States of America. And Italy have sold us out, as they too often have a history of doing. Eastern European nations are the heart of NATO. They spend money on defense. They know how to fight and love the U.S. France particularly deserves fault and blame, from supporting China and Russia at the UN to denying Americans overflight rights. They're doing what they've always done, showing weakness while cutting deals with terrorists. The reason the U.S. has a Marine Corps and Navy is, unlike France, we refuse to pay a ransom to the Barbary pirates. France is always happy to cut a deal. Wars have unintended consequences as nations show their true colors. NATO will never be the same, and Western European weakness and acquiescence is the cause. Ari Fleischer, I definitely agree with him. Sandra from Chi-Town.
John, how are you?
Hey, what's up, girl?
God bless you, and all the listeners.
I heard you call last week. I heard you last week.
You did?
Yes, I did.
I want to comment on Brandon Johnson, this so retarded person, yesterday when he made that comment about, the one you just played.
The colonizers.
He is a complete racist, okay? Brandon Johnson's always been a complete racist. Not to mention he's not a Chicagoan. He's from Elgin.
Yeah.
Elgin over 1 hour away from Chicago. You are a different city at this point. You're not a suburb of the city of Chicago. This guy has no clue what he's talking about. The fact that anybody even votes for him, and he sounds like a complete idiot. For everybody out there whose parents came here struggling from a communist country like my own, this is to allow people, these illegal aliens, to come in and to give them phones and food stamps. When did my parents ever get food stamps? This is embarrassing. I want this guy out. I'm sick of it. And let me tell you something. This is what I want to tell you. As long as we're allowing abortion in the city limits, God will never bless us. And that's bottom line. If I was mayor of this city, John, I want to be mayor. I would absolutely get rid of abortion within city limits because that's the only thing I could control within city limits. Yeah. I would get rid of that. I would clean this up. I'd be on every single night crew 24 hours a day looking at every pothole. I want this graffiti off. I want this fixed. Why is this garbage here? I want this done now. Not next week. I want it done now.
Yeah.
These people have nothing better to do than to be activists. Like my idiot Alderman Maria Hayden. She's an activist from Ohio.
You mean because maybe Sheridan Gorman startled the individual who's here illegally, shouldn't have a gun? Him. Yeah.
2 blocks away from my house that happened.
What?
Yeah, I live right here in Rogers Park. That happened 2 blocks from my house. I've got potholes the size of like I'm living in a war zone.
Yeah.
I come out, I pull out of my space, I immediately need an alignment and 3 new tires.
Well, Sandra, we got to go to break, buddy. Here's the thing about whenever you mention Rogers Park, I shiver. It's like Mufasa. That's where I got arrested when I was like 16, 17 years old. I was in a stolen car that I didn't know was stolen.
Oh, man.
They beat the heck out of me, CPD. That's one of the reasons why I became a cop. Yeah. All right. Take care. Thanks, Sandra. You listening to Black and Right. Hold the line. I promise you I'm going to take your calls when we get back.
Make sure that you never miss a day of Sean Thompson when you subscribe to the Sean Thompson Show podcast, presented by the Alpha Wealth Group. Listen to the entire show each day on demand with limited commercial breaks. You can subscribe today for free at 560theanswer.com and click on podcasts, or search for The Sean Thompson Show on Apple, Spotify, or wherever you listen to podcasts.
I'm Jane Fergus. Iran is urging its public to find and hand over a U.S. soldier who is missing in Iran.
We know that the search is underway for that missing U.S. service member after Iran shot down this F-15E fighter jet yesterday. We do know that service members, American troops, were able to locate and find the pilot of that two-seater.
Fox's Alex Hogan. Lines are getting back to normal at airports. Madison Scarpino at the Hartsfield-Jackson Airport in Atlanta, where TSA lines are shrinking.
And this all comes after days of absurdly long lines at several U.S. airports over the last few weeks. TSA workers were not getting paid. The Atlanta airport had one of the highest call-out rates in the country. But after President Trump's executive order, those workers are finally getting a paycheck.
America's listening to Fox News.
Scott Jennings fearlessly fights back against the mainstream media on the Scott Jennings podcast.
When Republicans have even a whiff of scandal, what do we hear? Resign, step down, zero tolerance. Where is the Democratic Party? Where is the outrage? Where is the moral clarity? What do we hear from cable news? Nothing.
Subscribe for free today on Spotify, Apple, YouTube, or SalemPodcastNetwork.com.
Making the switch to a new communications and IT company may seem like a big ordeal, but if you're not getting the reliable support, consistent internet, and secure solutions your company needs, meet Access One, your local Chicagoland IT experts. Access One has been powering Chicago businesses with secure, reliable IT solutions for over 30 years from our headquarters right here in the West Loop. Whether it's VoIP phones, dedicated internet, managed cybersecurity, cloud backups, or 24/7 support, Access One is here for you. Serving thousands of companies from Naperville to the North Shore, Access One is Chicago-owned and Chicago-run, a trusted IT partner for law firms, clinics, tech startups to manufacturers. We'll make the switch easier than you think. Let's talk. Call 800-804-8333 or visit accessoneinc.com. Rated top 5% in customer satisfaction and a Better Business Bureau A+ rated business. That's accessoneinc.com. Tech made personal locally.
Hey AM 560 listeners, Jeff checking in again from jeffbuysyourhouse.com. What I learned serving our great nation in the military is that every mission is unique and success starts with listening. For nearly 20 years, our veteran-led house buying team has taken the time to understand what matters most to each homeowner we serve. Every home has a story, and every seller has different needs. Whether you want a quick closing or need extra time to find your next place, we customize our approach around what works best for you. That's how we've earned hundreds of 5-star Google reviews and an A+ rating with the BBB, by putting relationships first. No repairs needed, no cleanout required, and you pick the closing date that works best for your schedule. At jeffbuysyourhouse.com, we're here to help you through the entire transition, not just the transaction. Are you ready to work with a local team that takes the time to understand your home selling needs? Sell your house to the trusted source by calling us today at 630-895-9530. That's 630-895-9530 or jeffbuysyourhouse.com.
This is Sean Thompson. One of the things I remember about spring is listening to my grandfather walk around and say, opening day, it's just around the corner. He used to think those were the two sweetest words you could say during springtime because he was a big baseball fan. And for most people, that's the case. It's one of the greatest American traditions each spring. But you know, there's another great American tradition that isn't far off, and that's called Tax Day. Well, opening day and Tax Day show up around the same time each year. We don't look at them in the same way. Well, you're optimistic about your favorite team. When's the last time you felt optimistic about stroking a big check to Uncle Sam? It doesn't have to be that way, and all you have to do is call Tom Fortino, the people at Alpha Wealth Group, who believe that baseball is a seasonal game, but tax planning goes on year-round. So if you don't want to write a big check in your retirement, and you don't want to have your Social Security or Medicare premiums affected by it, call Tom Fortino and the people at Alpha Wealth Group for their complimentary retirement roadmap. Call them at 630-864-6711. That number again is 630-864-6711 or online at alphawealthgroup.com.
What's the password? Is this Vito's Vault, where I can get a 5-star dinner and signature cocktails, see an amazing vaudeville-style musical comedy show with the gangsters and the flappers, all for one low price? Yeah? What's the password? I don't know, but I'm here to make a deposit. Well, why didn't you say so? Come on in.
Vito's Vault, Chicago's new Roaring 20s dinner theater speakeasy. For tickets, go to vitosvault.com.
It's the show the mainstream media doesn't want you to know about. It's Black and Right with John Anthony.
Welcome back to Black and Right. Let's go back to the phone lines. Art in Arlington Heights. What's up, brother? Long time, Art.
Well, you were talking about going to Israel. I was there 2 weeks before October 7th. And as you know, I'm a Vietnam Navy veteran. I almost always have some kind of Navy hat on.
Yeah.
And when I was in Israel, they saw my Navy hat. They'd say, "Thank you for your service." They'd also say, "Are you going to vote for Trump?" I heard that from hundreds of people during the 2 weeks I was in. They're all urging me to vote for Trump. Now, you don't have to urge me to vote for Trump, but they didn't know who I was.
All right, I walked around with my Trump Vans T-shirt on there, and I'm telling you, everywhere I went, people were like, giving me thumbs up. Hey, great shirt. Hey, we support that guy. We love that guy. Everywhere I went. And when I went and sat down in the hotel waiting for us to go out, I mean, people were just like, man, I mean, I didn't get one. Even Muslims were like, we support Trump.
And one thing people don't seem to know, remember, is who were the first people we had a war with? After we won our independence from England, from Great Britain, who were the first people we had to fight? You can tell who it is because of the Marine Corps hymn. From the halls of Montezuma to the shores of Tripoli.
Yeah.
Who are we fighting at the shores of Tripoli?
Yeah.
You mentioned it 10 minutes ago, or half an hour ago.
Yeah.
Barbary pirates.
Yeah. Yep. And France gave in to him.
Yep.
France.
That's how long the Muslims have been fighting against us.
Yeah.
Since the.
Hey, Art, I got a question for you. A lot of people are up in arms about this whole Iran attack that President Trump and Israel are doing. My thing is they killed enough of Americans. That's enough for me. Going after and killing Americans across this country, across the world, actually. That's enough for me. What say you as someone who served?
The number one job of our government is to protect us from enemies, foreign and domestic.
Yeah.
And these people who came into this country, or whether they're outside of this country, if they're following Allah, if they're following the Quran, if they want to implement Sharia law, they want to kill us. Because I've read the Quran.
Yeah. So have I.
The Quran is not being shy about saying, whenever you find a Christian, strike them at their necks.
Yeah. Or the infidels.
They don't need a reason to kill a Christian or a Jew.
Yeah.
And how Jewish people, like in Evanston, for example, we have the 9th District of Illinois, we have a Jewish congresswoman, and why are there Jewish people who are being put down by these Democrats still voting for Democrats? I don't understand that.
Well, that was Walter's point. He doesn't understand why they continue to vote Democrat when the Democrats don't take their cause into action.
Yes.
So, always a good time talking with you, Art. Hope everything is well with you.
Okay. Good enough.
Take care, Art. My buddy, Patah. Okay, if it's not Brandon, who is it then? Who's going to be the next mayor of the city of Chicago, Patah?
I have no idea, brother. You can be the mayor.
No. I don't live in Chicago anymore.
Me neither, man. I had to get up out of there, man.
Yeah.
But yeah, I was telling the car screener, man. These Democrats like Brandon Johnson, Tony Preckwinkle, even the king of the Democrats, Obama, they remind me of Jacob wrestling with that angel.
Ooh.
In the Bible, man, and he overcame that angel. He fought him all night.
Yeah.
He fought him all night, and he said, the word Jacob. What I looked up, it means one who supplants.
Yep.
So these Democrats, man, in Chicago, I don't know what they are, democrats, whatever you want to call them, man. They are not for America, but the problem is not them, really, it's the voters, man.
And that's where I want to go. Why does it, anytime Democrats find themselves in trouble, they always play that black card, colonizer, using words like that. Does it still work, Patah?
Oh, yeah, it works. It works. Because, people love to play victim, man.
Yeah.
That's the only thing that I can think of. People love to play victim. Some people, not all, but those particular voters those are like what they call it when you gaslighting.
Yeah.
Those are like gaslighting words, man, for people who look for something. That's all they got.
Yeah.
And I didn't vote for the guy before I moved out of Chicago. I actually voted for Lori Lightfoot, and I had between her and Vallis and Brandon. But once she lost, I didn't vote, man, and that was my vote, not to vote, because I don't have to vote for somebody that I don't believe in, man. So I don't know what the answer is for Chicago, but it definitely reminds me of the city of Nineveh, man. That's all I got to say.
So is it okay? Jamal? Is it Jamal? Is it Susanna? Is it Pappas? No. Is it Ray? Could it be Ray Lopez?
It could be Ray Lopez.
Okay.
But, the black people down there, and even some of his own people wouldn't probably go for him.
Yeah.
Because he sides with Trump.
Yes, he does. Hey, Patah, I still haven't seen your Amazon review of the book yet, brother.
I got to put it on there, man.
Yeah, let's do it.
Put it on there, brother.
All right, brother. Thanks so much for your call. I appreciate it.
Great book, great read. God bless you, man.
God bless you. You listen to The Black and Right. We'll be right back.
I'm attorney Stephen Leahy. If you're a business owner with unfiled tax returns, tax season is not your friend. This is when the IRS turns up the heat. They match 1099s. They review payroll filings. They compare bank deposits. And when returns are missing, they don't send you a warning. They take action. Penalties stack up fast. Liens become public. Bank levies can drain your account. I see it every year. Good business owners who waited too long, not because they're crooks, but because they were overwhelmed. Let me be clear, hiding makes it worse. Action makes it fixable. I help business owners get compliant, file what's missing, and negotiate from a position of strength, not fear. Don't wait for the next certified letter. Don't wait for a levy. Go to fightbacknow.com and sign up for my daily email. I'll tell you exactly what to do next, step by step. Or call me right now at 312-664-6649. Act now before the IRS acts first.
Did you know a will alone does not keep your family out of court when you die? The court still has to approve your will, but get a living trust, and your estate can be settled clearly without issue. Talk to the attorneys at Naumann & Associates. They prepare wills and trusts for a flat fee, no surprises, no hourly rate. With decades of experience, they know the law and offer a free consultation. Contact Naumann & Associates in Elk Grove Village, nalawgroup.com. Call 847-593-8777.
Gold and silver recently soared to record highs, then pulled back. So are precious metals still a good buy? Many Wall Street experts predict higher prices ahead. Why? Because we still have trillions in national debt, a declining dollar, and inflation that keeps shrinking our savings. Even with corrections along the way, gold remains a historical hedge for wealth protection. That's why Morgan Stanley's chief investment officer ditched the 60-40 stock and bonds portfolio and recommended up to 20% in precious metals. They're getting educated, and you should too. Call Lear Capital at 800-992-2255 for your free gold investment kit and learn how you could qualify for up to $20,000 in bonus gold. Lear Capital has over $3 billion in transactions and thousands of five-star reviews. Call 800-992-2255. That's 800-992-2255 or visit LearAlex.com.
Some moments deserve more than just a space. They deserve a setting that feels special. At Kemper Lakes Golf Club, they make it easy to gather, celebrate, and enjoy time together. From bridal and baby showers to family celebrations and private events, the team handles every detail so you can focus on what matters most. Warm, inviting, and close to home, it's the perfect place to host your next event. Visit KemperLakesGolf.com to learn more and start planning today.
This is Black and Right with John Anthony.
Get up, get on up. Threatened a bunch of U.S. companies today in the region, including Google, Apple.
With what? What did they threaten them with? BB guns? Or
well, that's
they don't have much left to threaten.
My question for you.
I think they do, and I think I've seen a lot of messages on social media, people making posts about how can they shoot down, the helicopter? How can they shoot down a jet? Well, that's because they had China and Russia assisting them now. That's how they're able to do it, because I do think we've decimated, and Tommy and I was just talking about it, the biblical perspective of what we see happening over there in the Middle East. And if you are a person that believes in that, we living in scary times. Mike from Elgin. Oh, Mike, I haven't heard from you in a while, brother.
Yeah, how are you doing, John?
I'm doing well. How are you?
Good. I'm doing pretty good.
Good to hear.
Hey, did you ever have that church start up here in Elgin outside you were
the school
working with? Or?
The school.
School, yeah.
No, I do believe they started the church, but I don't think the school was started.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah.
Oh, they started a Muslim school here in Elgin. It's like, oh, my God.
Oh, boy.
But, yeah. But the reason I called, though, the 14th Amendment, Andrew Johnson was the VP, and he was a Democrat during the Civil War and took over for Lincoln.
Mm-hmm.
And he wrote a treatise on the 14th Amendment. He vetoed it.
Well, Jackson didn't take over for Lincoln, though.
What's that?
You said Jackson took over
Andrew
for Lincoln?
Johnson.
Oh, Johnson.
Oh, did I say Jackson?
Yeah.
Johnson. Andrew Johnson. Yeah.
Okay.
But he wrote a 12, 13-page treatise on the 14th Amendment, and he vetoed it. And that's one of the reasons they tried to impeach him because he vetoed it. But it gives a great explanation of the 14th Amendment.
Yeah.
But and one of the things that in there that a lot of people miss is that, it says subject to the jurisdiction and wherein they reside. Have you ever filled out a state form that doesn't use the term resident?
Yeah. Good point.
Because a resident, the Corpus Juris Secundum explains resident as one may have many residencies but only one domicile.
Yeah.
Yeah. So what they did with the 14th Amendment and what they did to all of us, we say that we're resident. Well, if we're resident in Illinois, where's our domicile? They have the presumption the domicile is in the federal territory. That's the presumption, and that's what they did with the 14th Amendment. They made us all residents in the state, but yet where's our they have the presumption we're domiciled in a federal territory.
I'm gonna do some research on that, Mike.
Yeah, look into that thing that Andrew Johnson vetoed. Like I said, they tried to impeach him because of it. But and that's the thing is they made us all federal citizens. In fact, there's a court case, Supreme Court from 1855, that said there's no such thing as a U.S. citizen. It was just a generic term that was used to describe the people in the states. But,
and then this is part of the sovereign citizen movement, correct?
Well, it kind of is, but there's a Supreme Court case out of the state of New York, Lansing versus Smith, that said that all the rights that belong to the King of England now belong to every individual here in the United States.
Yeah.
So, but if you think about it, though, at the time, the slaves were the property of the person, right?
Yeah, chattel.
Of the person that owned them. So then when they freed them, who was responsible for them? The Fed decided that they'd be responsible for them,
Yeah, because they had no home. They had no home, basically.
Yeah. So, right. So then they created a U.S. citizen, which, they really had no right to do that, to create, the right thing to do. Well, the problem was that they couldn't force the state to make them citizens of their state. You know what I mean? They had no authority. But the real issue, I think, there's a guy that wrote a book, is The Law That Never Was. And he was looking into the 16th Amendment, but since he was looking into that, he looked into the 14th and said it wasn't properly ratified even. Because after the Civil War, they appointed all the people, representatives from the southern states to Congress. So they weren't duly elected into Congress from the southern states, but they voted on it and, passed it or whatever, and so it wasn't really properly ratified.
Yeah. All right.
So,
thanks, Mike. Appreciate the call. Brian Gallimore, brother, settle down, bro. Don't come for me. You came on my page and commented on my page. I don't come for anybody. Don't let the light skin fool you, neither. Don't let the light skin fool you, brother. Dan from Geneva.
Hey, how you doing today?
I'm all right, but these people, man, I tell you, don't let this light skin fool you. I'm from Chicago, Cabrini Green. Better go ask them about it. I'm sorry. Go ahead, Dan.
Yeah. Well, on that note, we ask why the Jews vote one way or this or that. I mean, you could ask that about anyone. Why do the blacks keep voting for Democrats in Chicago? On and on and on. So it's that's a mess. But I'd like to talk about the immigration thing. Moreover, I think that the people that wrote that had the foresight to look into the future, and it doesn't matter the new technologies we have. They basically put it in the law that says, like, look, if you're born here, you're living here, you're a citizen. I think that they were counting on us controlling our borders, and we're in a big predicament. This is an exploit that should have been patched out, and it wasn't. Yeah. And now we've let ourselves into this position where, okay, there's millions and millions and millions, but I don't think the law is on our side. And I will just say this last bit that I think MAGA wants blood, and I think they want justified blood. If they put all these people in jail that let them all into the country, we might be able to accept letting some of the people stay in the country.
Yeah. All right, Dan. I appreciate the call, brother. We'll be right back.
following advertisement includes a celebrity impersonation.
The summer heat in Chicagoland is no joke. And if your old air conditioner is making funny noises, you may already know it's time for a new unit.
Look, your air conditioner, it's a disaster. People are telling me it's the worst ever.
Don't sweat it, literally. When it comes to cooling your home, Air Right Heating and Cooling does it the best.
And they love our country. Beautiful people.
Rebates are still available, financing is flexible, and at Air Right installations are smooth and professional with no surprises.
It's beautiful. Some people say it's the coolest air anyone's ever felt. I don't know. That's just what they're saying. It's doing an incredible job, really tremendous.
Plus, tell them AM 560 sent you, and Air Right will give you $56 off any service. Visit Air Right Heating and Cooling today at AIR-RITE.com. Again, that's AIR-RITE.com. Air Right Heating and Cooling, doing it right since 1959.
What happens when a school is truly built around teenage girls? Their growth, their confidence, their faith, their future? You get bold young women who lead without hesitation, speak without fear, and discover exactly who they're meant to be. Rosary College Prep in Aurora is the only all-girls college prep high school in the western suburbs, and we've been doing this since 1962. We know how girls learn best. That's why our students thrive in STEM, the arts, and leadership at remarkable rates, even earning AP Platinum status from the College Board. At Rosary, your daughter won't just be educated. She'll be seen, challenged, and supported every single day. Girls here collaborate, inspire each other, and grow grounded in faith and driven by purpose. Come see it for yourself. Schedule a personal tour at rosaryprep.org. That's rosaryprep.org.
And now, more Black and Right with John Anthony.
Welcome back to Black and Right. You know, I'm going to make some people upset here. Where's it at? Oh, here it is. President Trump with his Easter message.
This Holy Week, I'm proud to join with Christians across the country and around the world to celebrate the most glorious miracle in all of time, the resurrection of our Lord and Savior, Jesus Christ. In his life, Christ displayed true humility. In his death, he modeled true love. And in his resurrection from the tomb, he proved that even death itself will not silence those who place their trust in Almighty God. As it says in Gospel of John, for God so loved the world that he gave his only Son, for whoever believes in him should not perish, but have eternal life. Eternal life, such beautiful words. This Easter, millions of Christians all over the globe.
Gotta love President Trump. Tommy McIntosh, what's coming up on the show next?
Well, obviously, there's a lot going on in the world. What'd they give Iran 48 hours?
Yes.
To open the strait?
Yeah, 48 hours.
Or all hell's going to break loose.
Yeah.
You have that. You and I have had discussions about this, but I do think that something is being restructured out of this, and I don't know if it's a world order, a restructuring of a world economy. Something is coming out of this, and I've been watching all the players in this, and I think they're going to use this Iran situation as something to launch into this.
Yeah.
Which you could see it.
Yeah.
Europe, rationing of fuels.
Yeah.
There's a lot happening, and this time of year, Easter time, it's kind of seems to me, and I'm a man of faith, but it seems like Ezekiel, John, Isaiah, everything is starting to fulfill itself. It's all fulfilling.
Yeah. I do believe it's lining up. Don, we don't have much time, but I'm going to take your call. Don.
If you go to disabilityscoop.com, they just announced that the Office of Civil Rights concluded their investigation into Chicago public schools, and the headline is that they identified discrimination. So if you go to disabilityscoop.com, you can read it, but it's really a shame. But
disabilityscoop.com.
Yeah,
all right.
They put out a disability update every week, and they just concluded their civil rights investigation on Chicago public schools.
Oh, thank you, Don. I never knew that website existed. I'll take a gander. Thank you so much. He is risen. Happy
Easter.
Happy Easter. Thank you. I want to leave the show with this. before that, if you haven't left an Amazon review on Letters to John Wayne, please go to Amazon and do so. And I want to leave the show with this. I want to thank you guys. I will be in next week. I'll be turning 50 April 13th. So next week, if you want to call in and say happy birthday, please do so. Until then, Paul, thank you. Unsafe Space with Jenny and Tommy coming up next. But here's the end of my message. Oh, come on.
Are you a Christian, by any chance?
Very, very much so.
Like, why is that exactly?
Well, Jesus saved my life. I'm a sinner, gave my life to Christ, most important decision I ever made.
So you believe the Bible is real?
Yes, I believe the Bible is true and real. Yeah.
Why is that?
Well, I could give you the technical answer. There's never been an archaeological discovery that has contradicted the truth of the Bible. And then, of course, the wisdom. There is not a truth of the Bible that if you apply to your life does not improve dramatically. And then finally, we have the most accurate and transparent, historically robust account that one can have of the most important figure ever to live in the history of the world, Jesus of Nazareth. And the resurrection is the pinpoint of my belief that Jesus did rise from the grave so that we may live.
What makes Christian mythology real?
So that's not mythology, but that is theology. If Genesis 1:1 and the resurrection is true, anything in the Bible is possible. You're looking at the greatest miracle. The greatest miracle is creation. And then the fact that Jesus rose from the dead. And I say, how do you know that Jesus rose from the dead? Well, show me another historical piece of a story where so many people willingly died a brutal death for a lie. Every single person around him had everything to lose, and yet they went to the absolute death, from Paul to Peter to the half-brother of James, saying that Jesus is Lord, Jesus rose from the dead. Not to mention, if you were going to fake a story, you would not use female witnesses in the ancient.
He is risen. Guys, I'll see you next week. God bless you and happy Holy Week.
For 25 years, Applied Mechanical Sales has kept Chicago's commercial building